Okay, welcome to Blockrocket's German Blockchain Award 2021. The event will start shortly after my quick introduction about the event logistics. So as this event is going to be big, everyone is going to be muted except for the speakers. If you have any question or suggestion during the talk, you can exchange them in the WhatsApp group by scanning the QR code here. And I will make sure to collect all the questions and send to the moderators. So that is from my side. I hope you enjoy the event today, and I wish all the startups the best pitch. Benjamin, do you want to take over now the event and start introducing?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Alexandra. Yes, then good morning also from our side. Very excited to have this event. This is basically the event of the year from our side. I've been preparing this for several months. The session today is for 3 hours, it's 3 stages, pre-seed, seed, Series A. And the event will be moderated by me, from Benjamin from Blockrocket, and with our partner, Wolfgang from the Blockchain Founders Group. We have,
morning.
Wolfgang. We have 30 startups today and almost 20 jury members. And I explain a little bit about the setup just in a minute. So before we do that, very few quick words about us. I think most of you guys already know us in one way or the other. So Blockrocket and the Blockchain Founders Group together are in early stage venture capital. And what we mostly focus on is we do seed investments. So we have ticket sizes ranging from 100K to 500K pre-seed and seed deals. We have 10 to 15 deals per year. We invest in blockchain-based business models. So it doesn't need to be blockchain infrastructure itself, does not need to be like a token infrastructure or layer solution, etc. But it needs to be a business model that's related to the blockchain ecosystem as a whole. And lastly, we are based in Germany, but invest globally. But of course, as we're based in Germany, the main value that we can provide in terms of ecosystem for our portfolio startups is in Germany and the DACH region. I mean, in broader sense, Central Europe, but especially the DACH region. So in a nutshell, we're looking always for talented, bright founders that are working together on the next big thing in blockchain, be it in a garage or in a co-working space. So if you are a startup like this, or if you know any founders who qualify for this, then please feel free to reach out to us, always looking for new investments. In terms of our core team, this is me and Wolfgang, but it's also Sagar and Alexandra. I'm sure like you have met some of us in any context or some context already. So far, so good from our side. So we will start the first hour with our pre-seed stage. So that means that, as I said, we have 3 stages, each for roughly 1 hour long. And the stages work from the setup in the following way. We have 10 startups in each stage that will compete with a 60 seconds elevator pitch. Very important, we've already briefed the startups, so they have 60 seconds only. If they exceed their time, we will have to interrupt them. So it's preferable if they have less than 60 seconds. So 10 minutes for 10 startups, because that's 60 seconds each. And then after these 10 minutes, the audience, and the audience only, will vote live in Zoom which ones of these 10 startups are the favorite. And the top 3 that are voted by the audience will then have the chance to have another 10 minutes each, so half an hour in total, to pitch their startup in front of our jury. Our jury, and then only our jury, will vote for who's the first place, the second place, and the third place among these top 3 that are selected. And that will be each category. And our awards in the end, they will be handed over, like we have an NFT award. We also prepared like a physical box. By the way, we do this together with BTC Echo, which is our main media partner for the event today. They're also invited later for the jury, so we will have the chance to see them there as well. And yeah, that's pretty much the setup. So on this point, I would like to hand over to Wolfgang, who can introduce our jury members before we then jump into our elevator pitches.
Yes, so good morning again. I have the pleasure of introducing our jury members. Hope everybody is on board. I'll start with David. We're very glad to have David Scheider with us. David is editor at BTC Echo, and as Ben already said, the leading news outlet for crypto news in Germany. And as far as I know, David just traveled to El Salvador for a news story on Bitcoin. So good morning, David. So we have Benedict Schulz from Tricantus, a Frankfurt-based blockchain venture capital firm who just got listed on the German stock exchange a few months ago. So welcome, Benedict. Then we have Olaf Hannemann from CVC from Switzerland, who 3 years ago decided to leave JP Morgan after a 20 years career to go full in crypto. So we're very glad to have you here. Welcome, Olaf. And then we have Anna Tutova from Coinstelegram joining us from Hamburg, if I'm correct. Good morning, Anna.
Hello, currently already in Dubai.
Currently already in Dubai, okay. And we have, let me just see, is Regina with us?
Yes, hello, good morning,
Okay,
everyone.
okay, perfect. Good morning. Last but not least, we have Regina Helmer, who is the Director Marketing Strategy of IOTA Foundation, which is, as many of you know, a distributed ledger for the machine economy. Welcome, Regina. And now I hope that Philip joined. Well, I'll just say a few words. We have Philip Sumtner from Frankfurt School Blockchain Center, who I suspect to have at least 3 doppelganger because he can be found everywhere in the German blockchain ecosystem and often at the same time. So welcome, Philip.
Yeah, I'm also here. I just have some issues with my camera, but I get this done in 1-2 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So thank you very much to the jury for participating. And we now start off with our first startup. And I have the pleasure to ask Leo from StyleXchange to kick off our today's session. Leo, you have 60 seconds.
We start the 60
Awesome.
seconds once you pitch.
Perfect. Thank you, Blockrocket, for having me and StyleXchange. My name is Leo. I'm the founder of StyleXchange, the fashion supply chain for the metaverse. Do you guys know Coco Chanel? Coco Chanel, ever heard of her? Famous fashion designer. She once said, "Every day is a fashion show and the world is your runway." Now, what does that have to do with blockchain and StyleXchange? Simple, the metaverse is here. Fashion and personalization will play a huge role in it. Thousands of designers and brands want to participate and offer virtual clothing. That's why we, StyleXchange, are offering a platform to purchase fashion NFTs, license them into various metaverses, and move assets in between worlds. We already have over 15,000 users, which is pre-seed, by the way, and featured over 20 virtual designers in exclusive fashion drops from all around the globe. We are becoming the biggest ecosystem for virtual fashion because every day is a fashion show and the metaverse will be your runway. Vote StyleXchange. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Leo. Moving on to Daud Solfakar in Berlin, and Daud will talk about License Rocks, a white label solution for NFT marketplaces. Daud, the stage is yours.
Yes, thanks. Do you see my screen? Yes, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, good morning. I'm Daud from License Rocks, and we believe that licensing is going to be the killer application or one of the killer applications for decentralized technologies. And for that, we created our NFT white label solution, which is super customizable and where we think you can try out things really in a really fast manner. And right now it's like experimentation phase in the NFT space. And yesterday I talked with a potential customer and I figured out we're like 1/50th of the time we would need to launch a comparable solution, and we would just take about 1/10 of the cost of it. And we are currently looking at different verticals, and we just have that one solution that can approach these different verticals. And if you want to know more about how we are doing that, then you have to vote for us, and I'm going to tell you that probably in 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Daud. That was like a cliffhanger. So next up is Vikas Vola from DropStar talking about music NFT ecosystems. Vikas?
All right, let me just quickly share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Let me start by asking a question. Do you know on average how much a musician earns from 1 million streams per year? Only $1,400 a year. And that is a problem considering the costs to produce and distribute the music. Music industry is accelerating, but only 12% of the revenues goes to the artists. Artists face the challenges of unfair revenue distribution with labels, and on average, streaming revenues have been consistently going down over time, leaving artists high and dry, including significant payment delays. On the other hand, fans today are merely consumers at the mercy of streaming companies and can only support by artists by listening to their music. But they could be so much more: investors, collaborators, collectors, and community drivers. DropStar is bridging this gap between the fan and the artist by creating alternate possibilities for artists to connect and monetize directly with their fans through NFTs and fan tokens, and fans can support and earn future royalties. We have received some great traction from some of the top electronic music artists in Germany, which is also the global hub for electronic music and carries a unique club culture. Here's one example of how our NFTs would look like. Support us in this journey to enrich the artist and fan relationship. Thank you.
Slightly over 60 seconds. So yeah. Thanks, Vikas.
Thanks very much, Vikas. Moving on to Paris, we have Evelyn Mora from Digital Village. Evelyn?
Good morning. I'm going to save the goodies and share my screen later if I get to. But my name is Evelyn Mora. I'm the CEO and founder of Digital Village. It's a sustainability-focused real-time MMO metaverse built on Unreal Engine with its own fully integrated marketplace. We enable mass adoption for blockchain, utility for NFTs, and we are platform and blockchain agnostic. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Evelyn. That was only 30 seconds. So Oliver, you can do one minute 10. So next one. Thanks very much, Evelyn. Next up is Oliver Chantin from Berlin, and he will talk about crypto accounting solution for freelancers with BaseNote. Oliver?
Yeah, hey, I hope you can see my screen, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, hi, I'm Oliver, CEO and founder of BaseNote.io. And our mission is to bring, well, it's more to empower freelancers to use cryptocurrency payments in their business. Why would freelancers use cryptocurrencies as a means of payment? Well, because they need to transfer money across borders constantly. And the traditional banking system is not really the best way to do that, in our opinion. And so how do we solve that problem? Well, we built an app and a web app. And with just one click, you can create an invoice, which is denominated in your desired token. And easy as that, you can just receive cryptocurrencies as a means of payment. What else do we do? Well, we have some DeFi features that are integrated, so you can earn some passive income on the side. We have accounting features, and we feature second layers tracking, so you can track payments on the Lightning Network or on Polygon to make payments even simpler, cheaper, and faster, which will further crypto adoption, which is our mission here at BaseNote, and this is our team. So if I have some more seconds, I can just encourage you to go to BaseNote.io and try it out for yourself, because we have a working MVP and there's no sign up required. And yeah, it's completely free. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Oliver. That was BaseNote. Moving up northwest to Copenhagen, Denmark, it's Matt Stolberg with Settlement. Matt?
Yes, thank you for inviting me today. My name is Matt. I'm co-founder and CEO of Settlement. And we help B2B platforms embed programmable finance into their product offerings without writing code. Ultimately, we are doing that to make global trade effortless for small and medium-sized enterprises. As many of you know, blockchain as a technology has a number of benefits for global trade, but bad user experiences, regulatory uncertainty, and uncertainty around energy usage means that mainstream adoption is unfortunately far away as it is right now. We are tackling these three challenges with a non-custodial wallet solution that is regulated under European payments law. My co-founder and I have been working with blockchain use cases since 2016 at the procure-to-pay company Tradeshift and the Deloitte's global blockchain community. If you want to hear more about how our solution works, then do please vote us on. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Matt. The next person either had a very long night or got up very early or moved to Europe. It's Radoslav Bulat from New York, talking about BrickNest, how to build a sustainable network of sustainable real estate on blockchain.
Good morning. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we are. So Radoslav, tell us where you are. Are you in New York or are you somewhere here?
No, currently I'm based in Wrocław in Poland, so not so far away from Berlin. Yeah, like 2 hours drive. All right, so
go ahead.
To the point. I'm Radoslav. I'm co-founder at BrickNest, and in one simple sentence, we are giving everyone a chance to co-on a vacation home the interim off. Brickness is linking crypto world with real estate assets. Our target audience are Generation Y and Z representatives living in large urban areas. Their main problem is that they can't afford the second vacation home because of the current prices on the market. So that's why we are building a platform to fractional investment utilizing blockchain. Our USP is that the end user, the token holder, they can spend nights there in the property or they can earn a dividend. So we rent it out to external users. So that's our USP. So literally we buy, customize, tokenize, and maintain those properties around the Europe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Radoslav. Next up from Budapest, joining us is Zoltan Katai with Sinenzo, talking about streaming services where you can follow your favorite traders. Zoltan?
Hello, good morning. Thanks for the invitation. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. So we started this journey because we see media companies are failed, are corrupted, and engagement, polarization, and short-term profit is the main drive. So we started to build interactive streaming service that tries to solve this problem. But when we started, we realized that the good news is that filmmakers already deal with lots of social and environmental issues. And also there are activists who speak up, and there are communities or engaged with these communities supporting different kind of issues they care about. The problem is that the filmmakers and the films, the titles are hard to get to the audience, and activities, I mean, the activists are not really supported financially, so they cannot continue their activities on the longer term.
Thanks very much, Katai. Sorry, there's 60 seconds up. Thanks very much. We have to stop here. Moving from Budapest to India, everybody's talking about metaverse, but Praveen Anasuria has been talking about quite a long time. He's built one of the first India's metaverse avatar-based social networks, and happy to hear about Saraverse. Praveen?
I think
you're probably on
muted. Yes, Praveen, you need to unmute yourself. Can you hear us, Praveen?
Yeah, I can hear now. Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. Yes.
Sorry.
You can do slides as well. It's okay. Now we can start.
Great. Hello, everyone. I'm Praveen, co-founder of Saraverse. Saraverse is building India's first open metaverse. We aim to bring 1 billion people into the metaverse economy. We are essentially addressing two problems. First, like while most metaverse focuses on Western market, we see a huge opportunity in fast evolving Indian gaming market, which is expected to grow to 650 million Indian gamers by 2025. Secondly, we believe most metaverse projects are currently focusing on ownership of digital assets, and the ownership of identity, which is the core concept of Web 3.0, is yet to be solved. And Saraverse is currently focusing on that. We are developing a visual layer avatar on self-sovereign identity to make it more fun and engaging. And by leveraging our digital lands, we are building a trust ecosystem of gaming companies, esports companies, to increase the adoption of self-sovereign identity and give the power back to the user. Thanks for the opportunity. We look forward to sharing more details about Saraverse in the next round. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Praveen. And last but not least, it's Nihat Arkan from Yali Yomo, joining us from Cologne this morning. Good morning, Nihat. You're probably on mute, Nihat.
Oh, here we go. Sorry that I was on mute as usual, very regular issue that we all face. Did you know that every single highly valued products, highly valued assets in luxury retail, there is over 150 fake is in the market. This is either a Rolex watch, Louis Vuitton bag, or even art pieces and even a high-end bikes. There's always a fake product. So What we do in Liomo, what we aim to solve is that we are one of the world's largest and the simple the blockchain-based product content management platform. And we leverage highly customizable application, and we promise complete security, content transparency, and traceability of all the high-end assets. Our new platform, which we launched in May, provides 100% product authenticity, preventing counterfeiting, managing ownership and traced ownership, and protecting the overall brand integrity and as well as the product integrity. We also enable the brand owners and retailers to maintain a dynamic relationship, intimate relationship with their customers even after the first sale. So at the end, we support the brands to create transparency and build trust with their respective customers and their ecosystems. So
thanks very much, Nihat. Yeah, it's we don't have an orchestra like at the Academy Awards to interrupt the speakers, but that was Nihat. Thanks very much. That was quite fast paced. 10 startups in basically 10 or 12 minutes. So take a minute of time to have a look at the startup, and for the voting procedure, it's back to Benjamin.
Thanks, Wolfgang. Alexandra, could you please launch the voting process now? Perfect. So to all the participants, you have now the opportunity to do the live voting. So the next 30 to 60 seconds, we will do the voting. Please vote for the startup, which pitch you enjoyed the most and which you would like to see to come in the next round to have a longer pitch. Give it another 20 to 30 seconds. We will share the results after the poll is closed with everyone. So all the participants will see all the results as well. Okay, give another 20 seconds. I think the first and the second is very clear. there's a battle between the third spot at the moment. Let's give it a few more moments. So 75% of people have voted at this point. For everyone who has not voted yet, who's a participant, now is your time. Okay, looking good. Then, yeah, I would suggest to Alexandra, I think we can close the vote. No, sorry.
Just
we have...
maybe Ben, more 10 seconds.
Yes. So we have 3 stars battling for the third spot, basically. With 9% each. Now one has the lead with 10.
We have like 81% of.
Still battling, yeah, almost done. Okay. If we are in doubt, then we will just run a second poll between the 2 startups that are in doubt. So we will be sure which one to participate. Okay, we have, can you, Alexandra, can you close the poll, please? And share the results. So we have Vikas from DropStar, Leo from StyleXchange, and Praveen from Saraverse. So congrats to the 3 of you. I'm excited to see a proper pitch session from each of you in the following session. So I would suggest we start with Praveen from Saraverse to start with his first pitch. 5 minutes pitch, 5 minutes Q&A. You can also do it 6-4, up to you. Stage is yours.
Sure. Thank you very much for selecting us. I'll just share my screen again.
Yes, please go ahead.
My screen is visible?
Yes, can see your screen.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Praveen from Saraverse. We are developing an portal to open metaverse. Our long-term vision is to build an open, decentralized creator economy by bringing complete ownership of digital identities, data, and assets into the hands of billion people. We're glad that many companies are going in that direction, and we are essentially focusing on identity layer first. Essentially, we are addressing 2 gaps. One is diversity in metaverse. Most projects we see are built for Western market, while India is a growing market for gaming. And we see there is a lack of localized content for India in global, open metaverse projects. And the other problem we are solving, which is the most important problem for a Web 3.0, is like the identity. Like so far, like identity and reputation built around identity is locked in centralized networks. although wallets can be considered as an identity, but they lack to capture the context, and they also lack self-sovereignty principles. And also they're not a very fun way to represent oneself in in a metaverse. Now there are like self-sovereign identity solutions there, but they usually lack adoption. And we are basically, strategizing how we can, bring self-sovereign identity to masses. So we are taking the ecosystem approach. In first user stakeholder, we are focusing on users. So for users, we are mainly focusing on how fun we can make the whole experience of developing the self-sovereign identity, because the ecosystem will develop over a time. So initially they can create their avatars, they can customize it, and they can create content around their avatars. And once the avatar is created, they can link it to an SSID. So over the time, they can build that into they can add different credentials from different networks, and they can build a metaverse reputation through that identity. And they can then also develop different identities for gaming, for work, for social media. So they can build different reputation for different networks. So we have a trust map. So basically it's a collection of digital land. So basically we believe that Saraverse is not one company, it's a group of different companies coming together and building this network. And this call is trust map, because it's a trust network where everybody trusts with each other's credentials and verifies and accepts other credentials. So to promote this ecosystem, we are offering free lands to initially to game developers, gaming companies. Already we have a few gaming publishers who agreed to join our land. And we are also reaching out to media companies who will also take up the land in digital, in Saraverse. So we do have a mix of non-native and native experience. This is the problem which we are solving. Like currently, most open metaverses projects are still closed because because builders can only develop experiences using their tools. But in our case, like builders can use different tools. Not just on our platform, but also outside platform, they can build experiences. We also have a token which will be used for as a utility token for peer-to-peer transactions and buy digital assets, and also used for governance and as an access token, and will be helpful for minting. We are building on India Stack, which has 1 billion transactions daily, and we are mainly focusing on localized content by collaborating with Indian influencers, communities, and brands. We see apps like Gepetto and Avakin Life are more competitors because they focus on social and mobile. We're also focusing on mobile and social, but we are focusing on Indian market. And also we are Web 3.2, building on Web 3.2 principles. Our revenue includes like selling digital assets, land seals, premium packs. On B2B side, we work with brands and celebrities, influencers to onboard them onto Metaverse. We have a few companies like joining our ecosystem. Currently, we are backed by Polygon, and we have also part of GitHub externship program. So where actually GitHub will be issuing credentials to all the interns who are part of this program. So similarly, we are getting more brands and companies onto our map. We're a team of 3 co-founders having strong background in product and developing enterprise products. We also have a team of game developers, character artists, UX designers, and the self-sovereignty identity researchers and blockchain developers. We also have advisors from Somnium Space and Xbox who are advising us. We're currently raising 500K, out of which we have secured 70K, which will be used to develop our first phase. We'll be launching the land and also the SSID avatar wallet on Android and iOS. And then we'll also be launching our game teaser to raise further funds. Thank you very much. If anybody have questions, you can reach me at praveen@saraverse.com.
Thanks very much, Praveen. It's now time for the jury, and I may invite the jury members to ask questions. We have 5 minutes. Jury, who would like to start? Not sure if somebody's trying to say something and is muted.
I'll kick things off then. Wolfgang. Hi. Thanks for your presentation, Praveen. 2 questions. What do you think makes that regional focus? What's different on like Indian metaverse focus versus other regions is one? And the other one, you're raising 500K. Can you share the valuation?
Sure. So As a part of our India first strategy, like we're first focusing on mobile, like most of the open metaverse are focusing on desktop application. In India, like most people use mobile for gaming. Like right now there are around 350 million mobile gamers. So it's very essential to have a mobile strategy. Second is like the content strategy. So we are localizing the content. Like for right now, Fortnite, like there is a Travis Scott concept on Fortnite, but most of the Indians don't know Travis Scott. And that's the reason we are collaborating with Indian influencers first. But Saraverse is built for as a global platform. Only as content is considered, we're first focusing on an Indian market because currently it's underserved, and that's the opportunity we see for us, like being in India. And secondly, your second question you asked the valuation. So yeah, I mean we are raising 500K. We haven't yet set valuation. We are using SAFE initially. Yeah, so we're using SAFE. So valuation is not set in this current round. It would be depends on the future. Future valuation of the round.
Okay.
So
from the jury.
Another question. So how would your go-to-market strategy look like? So how are you building the community and your ecosystem?
Yeah. So in our go-to-market strategy, first we are focusing on building all the collaborators. We're reaching out to game publishers, esports companies to bring them onto our platform because we want to develop that community, and we'll be launching our map in Feb. And we'll be launching our app as a closed beta in Q2, where people can develop their avatars and they can link it to SSID, and they can create first content for other social platforms. So initially it will be launched as a utility tool, and then eventually we will add games and different worlds as we go. Because it's important for any MMO kind of game to build that network effect. So on day one from scratch to build that network is very hard. So before that, we'll be doing small launches. Basically, we operate like a startup in phases, in different phases, focusing on minimum lovable product first.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Praveen.
One more question.
What's your current development status, and what are the next steps in your development milestones?
Yeah, currently we are developing. We have developed the functionality app of customizing the character. Now we are working on the avatar style. Now there are different style like Magna style or Oriental style and Western style. We are coming with a new style of avatars, and we're working with few well-known character artists from the sector to develop a new avatar style that will be inclusive. I mean, even a person with disabled also can relate to these avatars. So that's how deep we are going into these avatars. And in terms of SSID, we are currently mainly working on the governance framework, especially focusing on gaming and esports related network, because there is no such governance trust network established for this kind of companies. Mostly the trust ecosystem is for finance companies or government related projects. For the first time, we are developing a network only focusing on gaming sector.
Okay, we have 45 seconds for one last short question.
Thank you so much for unmuting me. Is it working now?
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the pitch. Could you maybe briefly describe how you distinguish yourself from big companies such as Meta, Facebook?
Yeah, so Facebook is mainly developing on Web 2.0 principles right now. Like let's say they use central login system. Like they manage the identities of the public, and that's the main difference. Like we are creating a SSID system where the identity is owned by the user, and the whole reputation can be interoperable. Like somebody today building a reputation system on our network can also easily take to other networks. So that's currently not possible with centralized networks like Facebook.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Praveen from Saraverse. We're now moving to Leo Hilse from StyleXchange. Leo, you have 5 minutes to present your company in more detail.
Awesome, thank you guys so much. Also, thanks for everyone participating and voting for StyleXchange. We're very excited to be sharing more insights with you now. Yeah. We are building the fashion supply chain for the metaverse, as I've previously outlined. Why? Very simple. Because the metaverse is here, but unfortunately my PowerPoint presentation is not. Metaverses and virtual games, online communities will play a gigantic part in our future. And I think in this circle, now that we're here together, everyone is very aware of that. And we are going to bridge virtual fashion and wearable NFTs into these metaverses. There we go. We already have an existing community of virtual fashion, as I've previously outlined, ready to be launched into these metaverses. With over 15,000 users worldwide from over 70 countries, we're very much set in order to go and explore these metaverses with our users. As I said before, 20 exclusive virtual fashion NFT drops. By the way, another fun fact that I haven't mentioned before, we already have another 10 exclusive fashion drops lined up already until the end of February next year. So you can see the supply on the market is really there. The application that we're currently running this on has already been live for a few months, and we have amazing ratings in the app stores. What we're going to do is we're going to enable licensing across multiple metaverses and games of virtual fashion NFTs for people to personalize their characters and individualize their avatars. Now, this can be on the one hand, classic virtual fashion NFTs, which is wearables that are dropped from exclusive designers, brands, and creators through StyleXchange into the metaverses that can be then exchanged. But also, we think what's really exciting is that we're going to offer existing NFTs to be virtually printed on digital wearables to then have them and play them on your characters. How are we going to make this happen? We're going to launch our style token to reward all participating parties in this ecosystem to make it work. Basically, the creators, brands, designers, and owners of fashion NFTs can collaborate with us, drop their virtual fashion onto StyleXchange, and the merchant, the games, metaverses, or third-party providers are incentivized to bridge these virtual fashion NFTs into their worlds. And we're going to make this happen through a double-layered NFT licensing mechanism, which will be hosted on the style token, so that the users can have fun with all of their virtual wearables in all different metaverses. The reason we're doing this is very simple. Fashion is a gigantic market as of right now, 2.5 trillion USD, and the metaverse will be a huge chunk of that in the future. Brands, designers, artists, everyone is trying to get into these metaverses. How can they have their virtual fashion seen and worn on characters and avatars? Nobody knows it as of right now. We do, it's StyleXchange. The conjunction is missing, and we're here to build the bridge. Obviously, in such an exciting potential market, there is some competition. However, we see ourselves as the only one to actually bring an ecosystem that is going to reward all participating members that need to be incentivized in order to make this ecosystem work. Additionally, the double-layered NFT, as I've previously laid out, hosted on the style token, is enable the licensing mechanisms across multiple versions of the virtual fashion owners and merchants. Beginning of next year, we are going to have a private token presale and then launch the token officially in summer 2022. Obviously, I cannot do all of this by myself. I have an amazing team with me with very experienced people who have previously worked in large startups, fashion tech, beauty, as well as big data. We're also backed by really, really amazing serial entrepreneurs that have had 9-digit exits in fashion, e-commerce, and have sold blockchain companies. As if this was not already enough, we're backed by 2 billionaires and the Fashion Council of Germany in order to have access to brands and retailers from all around Europe. Now, if you want to learn more about StyleXchange and be part of this virtual fashion revolution, feel free to get in touch over LinkedIn. Here's my email. Also, before I forget, if you want to sign up for the public token launch, here's the website link. Thank you.
I guess that's going to be of interest to many people. Thanks very much, Leo. Opening up the floor to the jury. Any questions?
Hello, Leo. Thank you for presentation. Can you tell us what is your current revenue?
Currently, we're offering the virtual fashion for free in exchange for engagement in the community because we just want to grow.
So currently, it's just like cross-marketing, no revenue for the project?
Well, you have to consider we're pre-seed. We founded not even 6 months ago and have already built the community by offering this virtual fashion NFTs. So we're basically giving them away in exchange for engagement within the community.
Thank you.
Hi, Leo. Thanks for your pitch. Can you tell us a little bit more about your token that you're about to launch? So how much do you want to raise? What will be the utility there? And why do you have it in place in the first hand?
Well, as I said before, we have it in place in order to incentivize all participating parties of the ecosystem to make the entire thing work. However, I'm, as of right now, unable to disclose a lot of information about the token. We're going to launch our white paper in January. So if you want to have any news on that, stay tuned. There's a link for the newsletter in the chat. But as of right now, I'm not going to publicly disclose the tokenomics.
But can you say something about the utility?
Nope. White paper in January.
It's only a month away, Ben. Any other questions from the jury? David?
Yes,
Philip?
again. I don't know what about the muting thing is. I was wondering if you are planning to onboard like big brands such as Nike or Adidas who are going really big on clothing in the metaverse.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's the end goal. I think it's really exciting to see what these brands are currently already building themselves. Additionally, there's going to be a gigantic market for providers such as ourselves. So if you want to say something like, Nike and large brands are already exploring the metaverse, but additionally, there's going to be like hosted e-commerce stores, etc., in order to also offer virtual fashion. So yes, we are planning to collaborate with them in the future. This is also why we are entangled with the German Fashion Council to have access to these large brands and retailers.
Thank you.
So there is one question coming out from audience for Leo. So like, how are you going to convince the League of Legends or other company to use their NFT? I mean, they can just lose the money and can do themselves.
Well, they can do it themselves in direct collaboration, such as Balenciaga did it with Fortnite. But in the future, the borders and the APIs are going to be open. And thus, through our community of individual creators and independent artists, we're going to enable a huge revenue stream for them through participating with us.
Thank you, Leo. I think this answered the question from audience. Yeah, thanks.
Any other questions from the jury at this point?
There's
Philip here. I have one question.
Philip, you have a strong
still
echo.
since half an hour, but one question from my side would be, what about international fashion brands you work with so far? You mentioned primarily German brands, German Fashion Council, and so on. We know that in Asia, fashion is working entirely differently, right? So what about the supply footprint over there?
Well, that's the great thing about the metaverse and the future of Web 3.0 that we're heading forwards. Everything is open borders, and it will be super easy to collaborate with designers and artists and brands from all around the world. So the 20 virtual designers that we featured in the past couple of weeks, they've actually been from, I think, 14 or 15 different countries all around the world. We've actually hosted designers from South Korea, Colombia, other parts of Asia, Africa even. So I believe that there's not going to be any issue in terms of intercultural brands being able to utilize our services.
Great. Thanks very much, Leo. That concludes our session on StyleXchange.
Thank you for having me.
Last but not least, we have Vikas again from DropStar. Vikas?
Hello, hello. Thank you. 1 second, please. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Fantastic. Hello again. I'm representing DropStar today, a music experience platform making music collectible. Music industry is accelerating with a double-digit year-over-year growth for the last 5 years and is projected to double by 2030. Streaming revenues contributed to roughly 80% of the recorded music last year, COVID saw events revenue to plummet. However, the events moved virtually quite largely to YouTube, to just give a perspective of how music industry is moving. Artists faced the challenge of unfair revenue distribution with labels. Only 12% of the earnings goes to the artists, and there's no way for artists to directly monetize from their fans. So if you map out stakeholders in the music ecosystem, artists are struggling with low income, very little transparency on ownership rights and payouts, and are spending a long time building community on social media, but very little returns in terms of revenue. Streaming companies are squeezing royalties further, and the real value of labels are becoming a question mark in the connected world. Fans are merely consumers of music today, but they could be so much more. They could be investors, they could be collaborators, they could be marketeers, and even a community. And this is where we've started to come with this thought in building DropStar, which is bridging the gap between the fan and the artists by creating alternate possibilities for artists to create unique experiences, to connect and monetize directly with their fans through NFTs, and connect with them also via fan tokens or social tokens. And fans can really support and earn future royalties from investing in NFTs and building a community through fan tokens. We've received some great traction from some of the top electronic music artists in Germany, which is also the global hub for electronic music and carries a unique club culture as well, and access to electronic music and their affinity to crypto and digital art as a collaboration was the reason for us to focus on electronic music in the first place. Our front-end store is currently being tested, and this is how it looks like. We're currently in the process of creating music experiences and building NFT use cases, and we've some great NFTs lined up as our first launch, and creators are coming up with very unique thoughts around how to project these NFTs and combining with physical world as well. We're also working with music communities such as Factory Berlin, Factory Studios, which is an incubator program for electronic music DJs, and Berghain community to build use cases for virtual music experiences. Now, this is an example of the work in progress to create virtual experiences. This is the first rendering of the Panorama Bar at Berghain, the most exclusive club in the world. In the future, one could enter the club with an avatar and experience the club virtually with resident DJs playing their best music. We aspire to be the first metaverse for music experiences. In terms of our product, our first phase is really to get the product right, really focus on conversion and user experience, bring in mainstream artists, and quite largely we're going to focus on that. And in future, we will start to build token exchange, we'll start to build fan tokens, and eventually also build a community DAO. Our revenue model is a combination of transaction fee based and a play to earn token model, powering fan connections and virtual experiences. We also intend to build a royalty management infrastructure in the future as well to kind of really solve the problem. Music industry is large and growing fast. However, we believe we're creating a new revenue stream which will inflate the market. We will create and capture value by building an economic model that constitutes labels, brands, and a community that rises together. Also expect that advertisements would be a part of that. In terms of competitive landscape, we're very early in music NFTs. Our main competitors, I mean, there's the ecosystem, of course, exists, but with music NFT marketplaces, they're not optimized for music. Or the regular marketplaces like OpenSea and Rarible, etc., are not optimized for music, and we'll be the first one to kick this off. We're building a strong team to execute this project. I'm a marketplace expert and previously built and scaled Booking.com's business in APAC and a Harvard Business School alum. Rebecca, my co-founder, has a strong product engineering and operations background, having worked in large technology firms. Jorge is our blockchain architect, and Vela, who's our head of design, is also the co-founder of Crypto Girls, a community that promotes women in blockchain. And please support us in this journey to enrich the artist and fan relationship and really build the future of creativity in music and arts. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Vikas. I guess everybody thinking now how to get virtual access through Berghain, so you might get some emails after this.
I think the NFT saying no would be very valuable as well.
Hi, Vikas, good to see you again.
Hi, Benedict.
Sorry?
Before, just one thing. Benedict, you want to say a word about voting before we start with jury questions?
Yes, so just one quick remark to the jury members. So right now is the time to use the sheet that we have sent to you to do the voting for the startups. So for the 3 startups that have just pitched, I ask all 6 jury members to please do their voting now. And in the meantime, we can have the next 5 minutes, we can have the Q&A session. We evaluate the results, and then we will announce it shortly in 5 minutes who are doing it.
Okay, so open questions to the jury, to Vikas. Ben, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, because I'm a bit spoiled because we've met last week and I already said that I'm really looking forward to get the real Berkheim experience, which is waiting in line and get rejected online. But jokes aside, can you give us a bit more information about how you are financed and whether you are about to raise?
We are raising right now, or just starting to raise. I don't think we are seed ready at this stage, but we are currently planning to raise a little over north of $1 million. And the reason for that quite largely is to build the product and engineering infrastructure and an on-chain experience that kind of floats really well is very, very critical. The other angle that is important to us is the brand and the marketing side. And if we're dealing with top-level artists and communities, we've got to get this right. We've got to build an aspirational brand where people would come and experience something, and it's just much more valuable as an overall experience. And in order to execute that, we have to build a very strong community, but also a very strong brand promise. So in order to do those things, I think largely 80% of our work is or capital is going to go there. In addition, we'll have to kind of really look at how to kind of set up legally and regulatory perspective as well as we introduce our tokens. We're currently working on building a model for the token. Quite largely, it's more incentive-based model on the usage. So the utility would be kind of a combination of fan tokens coupled with experiences or the more usage that would have an interchange. I think crowdfunding would be an important element as well in it. Yeah, I mean, to kind of build this from an infrastructure perspective, we need to attract very strong talent, and that talent is not cheap. That's what we realized. So that capital is going to largely go towards that.
Okay. I have a question because, artists, they often have contracts with the other labels and so on. So how easy is it to do something with the artists beside and without the labels? So to do direct contracts with them, is it possible?
There is direct contracting possible for some artists, not all. There are many artists who now were so pissed off with how labels were organized that they started to build their own labels as they had the brand promise. So it's easier with them. But the larger international labels, not so much. In fact, we are talking to one of the international labels, but talking more on the archives, because archives today for them have no value, but that archive could be brought in and be, the value could be created, even regenerative work. A large chunk of these NFTs would have derivative rights, and this is something that we're focusing on, that these music NFTs would have derivative rights for future development of that music for the person who owns. And we don't know how we will develop tools and experiences on top afterwards, so we would just want to keep that layer a little bit open. But so far we have received good positive feedback. My belief is that the future albums which are not contracted with labels, could be really a part of this infrastructure where crowdfunding that kind of compensates on the label sort of fee, which then becomes also a marketing tool, would then enable artists to come back again and again, making labels, probably labels will still have utility, but would have less and less utility as we move forward. At least that's how I understand so far.
Thanks very much, Vikas. That concludes our Q&A session and our presentation for the pitches in the pre-seed category. Thank you to all participants.
Thank you.
Over to Benjamin.
Yes, also thanks a lot from my side. Thanks for the great pitches today. So we had three startups that pitched in the remaining, or the top three among today, which was Praveen, Leo, and Vikas. The jury has voted. It was quite a clear result. So I'm happy to announce that third place for award category seed stage today is Praveen from Saraverse. Second place is Leo from StyleXchange, and first place is Vikas from DropStar. So congratulations to the three of you.
Thank you.
Send you. Each of you will receive an exclusive and unique NFT award from our side that we do together with our startup partner Venly. So they will mint NFTs for their marketplace solution. And you will also receive a physical box from us with some rewards and stickers and some extra features that we have developed together with our media partner BTC Echo. So at this point, again, thanks a lot to the startups for the seed stage. Thanks for the jury members for the seed stage. Thanks also to the other startups that have participated for today. Looking forward to see each of you in upcoming weeks in sessions and pitches and so on. And at this point, we will head over then to our next stage, which is category seed. But before we jump right into it, we decided to make a quick pause, a quick break. So for everyone who wants to go to the bathroom or drink some coffee, now's the time, and we will start at 10 a.m. sharp to continue. We will have in the seed stage, again, six jury members and 10 startups, 10 different startups, all in seed stage, 6 jury members that we will introduce shortly again. Also explain the agenda in a few minutes again for the ones that have just joined us a few minutes ago. And yeah, looking forward to continue our session from 10 a.m. onwards. Thanks, guys. In the meantime, for the team, please make sure that everyone who just joined us, so just for the logistics, we would remove all the startups and jury members for the pre-seed stage and put you back as participants. And we would put on the stage the 10 startups that would pitch for the seed stage and the 6 jury members that will vote for them. So to make sure it's not too cramped in terms of videos. So just so everyone knows.
Ben, you want to quickly check the setup from the new, the startups joined from the seed category? Like Nicolas had to check, Praveen had to check the screen, or it's fine?
I don't think we need to run every screen through because it's too many startups for that. It's just like startups that have just joined. You have a 60 seconds pitch in the first 10 minutes. So I will repeat the logistics just in a moment when we officially start. But like for the startups, just make sure that you have tested your setup before. For the 60 seconds pitch, you can use slides, but you don't have to. In our pre-seed stage from the last hour, we had some startups who didn't use a pitch deck for these 60 seconds. So that's up to you. But just try to be ready.
Okay, perfect.
All right, fantastic. Then I would suggest we continue from here. So good morning to everyone who maybe just have joined us in the last few minutes. I'm Benjamin from Blockrocket. I moderate today the session with Wolfgang from Blockchain Founders Group. And together we have our second stage out of 3 stages today. We have the seed stage. We invited 10 startups to pitch and 6 jury members to evaluate. And you as the audience, of course, to also have a say in which startups will win our annual award in this category. So just quickly to repeat for the ones that have just joined us recently. So the stage will work in the following way. We have 10 startups that have 60 seconds each to pitch their idea, like an elevator pitch. So again, also to the startups, if you exceed over 60 seconds, we will have to cut you short. We really hate to do this, but if you exceed, we have to at some point. So please try the best you can to, best is if you actually put a timer next to your own window and try to stay within 60 seconds. Then among the 10 startups, so this takes 10 minutes because 10 startups, 60 seconds. After these 10 minutes, the audience and only the audience will vote live in Zoom via a poll function, which 3 out of these 10 were like the best elevator pitches. And these 3 startups then have 10 minutes extra each, so half an hour for the second half of this hour to pitch their idea in front of our jury that we have invited. Like, so they have 5-minute pitch, 5-minute Q&A. And then it is only the jury consisting of 6 jury members that will vote for the first place, second place, and third place of our award for this category. That's it from my side for now. So now Wolfgang will happily introduce our jury members that have just joined us for the seed session.
Yes, I have again the pleasure of introducing our jury for the seed stage. Welcome, everyone. We have from Bangalore, India, we have Jaitini Kanani, who is the co-founder and CEO of Polygon Technology, a platform for Ethereum scaling and infrastructure development. Welcome, Yaji. We have from Berlin, Mark Preuss, the founder and CEO of BTC Echo, and he was already reporting on crypto when most of us only discovered Facebook. So you were really early. Hello, Mark. From Brussels, Belgium, we have Patrick van der Mosselaar. He's partner, co-founder of Tioga Capital, a fund fully dedicated to outstanding blockchain founders. From Bonn in Germany, we have Alex Frankenberg, known under his Twitter handle by most people, just do it Alex. He's probably one of the most ardent Bitcoin defenders I've ever met. Just got back from El Salvador with his Bitcoin hands in country due diligence. And we're glad to have you here. Hello, Alex.
Hello, everybody.
Then from Lausanne, Switzerland, we have Cyrus Fazel. He joins us as the founder of Swissborg. He has created Europe's top crypto wealth app with almost 500,000 active users. And last but not least, from Copenhagen, we have Bastian Larsen from Blackwood Capital. Blackwood leverages artificial intelligence to find the most promising early startups for investors, and we'll be curious how that works in this process. So thank you, everyone from the jury. That brings us to our startups, and we'll start with Georg from B.A.M Ticketing. Georg, the stage is yours for 60 seconds.
Ready to go?
Ready.
Ready.
Okay. Event tickets are sold out in seconds and prices get insanely high. But why? Because automated bots buy up to 90% of the tickets. Tickets are resold immediately at huge markups, and people get even scammed with fake tickets. It's all over the media. Many artists stand up to fight those issues actively, but even regulations are lacking real power in this fight. But the huge impact of NFT ticketing is already awaited. And B.A.M Ticketing has a ready-to-go solution for this. We eliminate any ticket fraud. On top, we generate additional revenue, more fan data, and maximum fan engagement with NFTs. For fans, we have more tickets, a secure marketplace, and finally, fair prices. But you need a secret sauce, which is a superior blockchain implementation. Stand up for the fans and vote for B.A.M Ticketing.
Thanks very much, Georg. It's 60 seconds sharp, not a second more. Pretty great. Thank you very much. Moving on to London, we have Fraser Edwards from Checked. Fraser?
Hi, let me hopefully share my screen in a second. So I'm muddling about on a iPad, which is not helping me at all. Sorry about this. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this without slides. So not a problem at all. So hi, I'm Fraser from Checked. We're building a self-sovereign identity network. What that means is we're putting data back under the control of individuals, giving people back their data, giving people back their privacy. Imagine a world where you no longer have passwords. Everything revolves around you. You don't need physical kind of documents anymore. Everything is seamless. We launched our network just this month, so pretty new, but we have plenty of partners over in Germany, working with the likes of Isata, Sferity, Damutech, and a load of others. And ultimately, we're making self-sovereign identity successful and commercially viable. And really, it comes back to giving people back their data and giving people back their privacy.
Wolfgang,
I think you're on mute.
Thanks for pitch, Fraser.
So thanks very much. Moving on to London, to Empova, and Ryan Lavelle is going to talk a blockchain platform that can help decarbonize the world. Ryan? Is Ryan with us?
Good morning. Can you see me?
Yes.
Great. The crypto market is on fire, and so is our planet.
Wouldn't it be great if there was a simple to use application harnessing the power of the latest clean technologies and DeFi crypto investing to accelerate our transition to net zero? Well, looking around, unfortunately, in the market, there seemed to be a confusing array of ideas, solutions, and products, none of which solve the problems of fundamental access and incentive to trigger mass adoption. I'm Ryan Lavelle, CEO and founder of Empower, company on a mission to democratize the clean tech revolution, and in doing so, help to decarbonize the planet. At Empower, we fundamentally believe that if the world is going to solve the problem of climate change, then everyone has to get involved. And for this reason, my team has been developing an ecosystem of technologies, partners, and projects supported by a blockchain-enabled SaaS platform called Decarbonizer to do just that. We're here today to ask you to support our token launch, which we're launching in partnership with Scaling Funds Germany, with a view to putting the power of institutional-grade ESG investing in the hands of ordinary crypto investors. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Ryan. That was Powell. Moving on to Hamburg, it's Mina Cordy from Tracifier. Mina?
Yes, hi everyone, it's Mina is here. I'm just sharing my screen with you. It's there, right?
It works, yes.
Perfect. Cool. Hi everyone, it's Mina from Team Tracifier. Now let's talk about a little bit about the food supply chain traceability solution. Looking at some related pain point in the market, lack of visibility in your supply chain increases the risk of fraud in your business because you can't control what you can't see. So fraud will happen. People are getting sick out of foodborne illnesses. Fresh food is wasted and companies lose their profit to prevent fraud. Sorry. And this is the reason that the market of food traceability is growing in billions year by year. Also, this is exactly what we do at Tracifier. We are bringing visibility to your supply chain by giving digital passport to your products, automating your supply chain management process, and using a smart contract to validate transactions. That transfer the system with trust and transparency and results to prevent food fraud, reduce food waste, and protect the brands. So if you want to know how it works, vote for safe food solutions, vote for Tracifier. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mina from Tracifier. Moving on to Vijay Pravin Maharajan from BitsCrunch. Vijay?
Hey guys, Vijay here, founder and CEO of an amazing team, BitsCrunch. So by that, we mean crunching each and every bits and pieces of blockchain data. So we call ourselves the ecosystem guardians of the NFT space. So the reason being, we fight against wash trades, we fight against forgeries in the NFT space, and we also provide a fair price estimation for the NFTs. So in short, we are the NFT police. So we do policing of the NFT space where somebody does anything wrong. And we have, and I'm glad to say that we have already been backed by 6 different VCs, Genblock, Ledger Prime, Covalent, and various other VCs in this space. And we have already done a seed of 750K in June, and we have got a great customer base that includes Polygon Studios and Rarible. So I'm excited to hop onto the second phase where I'll be exploring a lot more things about what we do. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Vijay from BitsCrunch. Moving on to Olaf Kort from Zook, talking about CO2 DAO.
Hi, I'm Olaf. So did you know that Tesla made more money from carbon certificates than from cars? So on CO2 DAO, not only big players, but everyone can earn and trade carbon credits. And because it's built on a DAO, it's owned by users, it's transparent, and it's democratic. I'll show one slide. So on one hand, CO2 emitting companies can easily offset their carbon footprint to show that they are climate neutral. And on the other hand, there are CO2 reducing projects like reforestation that receive a plannable income stream. But what's really unique is that with our app, everyone can earn carbon tokens. So for every little climate action, you earn tokens. Think like air miles or loyalty tokens. So together with you, we can help solve the climate crisis and build the world's first decentralized carbon market. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ola from CO2 DAO. moving swiftly on to Ayush Ranjan, talk about Huddle 01. It's the world first Web3 powered decentralized video meeting. Ayush?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Ayush. We are building Huddle 01, which is a Web3 powered meetings. So let's be honest. Everyone in the Web3 community demands private and metaverse identity. And presenting for you, imagine a world where you're talking to a punk. You have a punk and you're talking to a punk and you have an NFT and you're just using that NFT to just talk to everyone. So that's what Huddle is building, completely powered by Web 3.0. You use LivePeer for live streaming. You use video NFTs where you can mint everything which you're talking directly onto Polygon and more stuff like that. We have built our team, which is like completely consumer focused. We have worked at various startups like CoinDCX, Zepho, and we are the right team to build this. We have been backed by amazing people in our previous round, which includes Preeti Kasareddy, Sandeep from Polygon, David Dias, and a lot of other people. So let's schedule our next blockchain awards on Huddle and use huddle01.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Ayush from Huddle. And next one is Markus Masaryk from SideOS from Berlin. Markus?
Thanks. Hi, here's Markus. I'm the co-founder of SideOS and happy to be here. It was very interesting so far. And SideOS is all about what I want to tell you now. Today's challenge is that many businesses are managing data and identity and security not efficiently. As a result, people do not trust businesses, conversion rates decrease, and companies are distracted from their core business. Rethink by decentralizing data securely through people's phones, which gives them the control on sharing data and avoids costly infrastructure. Less data stored, always current, and most important, it's highly automated. No manual input, no passwords, no data maintenance. We simplify this by just 2 API calls for our B2B customers. That's easy, while they save money and time. If there's one thing I want to take you away from today, it's that we give the people ownership of their data. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Markus from SideOS. And our last entry in the seed category today is Nicholas Weber from MGH DAO from Zug, Switzerland. Nicholas?
Thank you so much, Wolfgang. Hey guys, pleasure to be here. Then let's do this. At MetaGameUp.DAO, we focus on navigating through the open metaverse together. So we're not building a metaverse ourselves, but we're actually building aggregation tools as well as fostering aggregation through decentralized governance of lands within the metaverse. Therefore, the next wave within the metaverse development. Here we have on the one hand, the acquisition of metaverse lands, which will then be curated, for instance, to build holistic GameFi ecosystems on top. And on the other hand, we're providing and building sophisticated tools, for instance, such as a sophisticated pricing algorithm, which we developed for lands within the sandbox, which is kind of something that I envision, as a navigation tool, something like you pull out your phone in the real world to navigate through it the same way the dApp of MGH will function in the metaverse. We also focus on converging the metaverse with the dataverse by selling data sets of that NFT pricing data on the Ocean Protocols marketplace, as well as providing on-chain data, for instance, for NFT marketplaces, as well as the DeFi protocols and other hybrid forms of smart contracts within the chaining ecosystem where we have a node. This will then generate further revenue for the DAO treasury, which can then subsequently be reinvested into the metaverse. And lastly, I invite everyone to check out our land valuation tool at metagameup.io/valuation, where you can get a fair price for your sandbox lands. Thank you guys. And if you have further questions, feel free to reach out.
Thanks very much, Nicholas. That concludes our entries in the seed part. You now have, again, the opportunity to vote. So everyone, Ben, anything else to say about the voting process?
Exactly. So Alexandra, I would like to ask you to start the polling right now for everyone in Zoom. So just in a moment, there should be, yes, so the vote should start right now. All the participants have the opportunity now to vote for the startup that they would like to see in the next round. So we leave it the next 60 seconds to everyone to vote. We will share the results of the votes of everyone. Everyone will be able to see after the results, and then the leading 3 startups have the chance to pitch a second time right after. So 50% votes are already completed. So please vote right now if you have not voted yet. Already have one clear favorite, clear startup leading. 65% votes completed. So again, please vote right now in case you haven't done so yet. Give it another 20 to 30 seconds. %. So we will close the voting soon. Okay, poll is closed. So we have Georg from B.A.M Ticketing. We have, let me check, Tracifier, and we have CO2 DAO. So those are the 3 startups that have been voted into the next session. Fantastic. So congrats to you guys. Then we will start with CO2 DAO. No, yes, CO2 DAO for their first pitch. 5 minutes pitch, 5 minutes Q&A. You can also do 6 minutes pitch and then a little bit less Q&A. That's up to you.
Whoa. Can you start with another one? I have to bring up my
slides. Georg, you're probably ready. You want to go first? Georg from B.A.M Ticketing?
Always ready.
Okay, good. Fire away.
So I need to close the. So hello, my name is Georg Müller. I'm founder of B.A.M Ticketing. Desperately need a solution for a shaken industry. As we already learned from my previous pitch, ticketing markets are broken because of many reasons. Or how Kid Rock would describe the situation, it's highway robbery. Automated bots are buying the tickets, on average 42%, but up to 90%. That's unbelievable. And 90% of ticket resales are done by professional ticket traders. PDF tickets can be easily faked and 12% fall victim to such a scam. All this leads to completely absurd prices in the end, with average markups of 70% plus. Now, this is the story of about how we're gonna turn ticketing upside down. Using blockchain technology, we issued tamper-proof cryptographic tickets. We easily detect bots by full transparency of blockchain transactions, and we dry up black markets with smart contract trading rules. And on top, we enable events to generate additional revenue from every single transaction, even from secondary markets. And we give them full control on every ticket resale or transfer for the first time. Also good news for the fans, an increased availability of tickets by cutting out bots, ticket scalpers, or other scumbags, easy and secure resale and transfer of digital tickets, and finally, fair prices. Over the past months, NFT art and collectibles attracted a lot of interest, which gave reason to the music and sports industry to realize the huge impact NFT ticketing will have in future. And B.A.M Ticketing is already at the forefront of this with a ready-to-go product. Everybody can issue NFT tickets using our marketplace. The event organizers can define transaction rules, for example, maximum resale prices. And for secondary markets, they can do this for the first time of their life. We give them full control over all sales channels and make all tickets and fan data visible with a single source of truth. Our universal wallet not only manages blockchain tickets, but also conventional flight tickets, membership cards, vouchers, coupons, and NFT collectibles. We even integrated the Green Pass and the personal ID for quick access at the venue entrance. NFT collectibles are a key enabler for fan engagement. We enable event organizers to issue NFTs on OpenSea, SuperRare, and similar platforms. The user can fetch their NFTs from Ethereum, Polygon, and other frameworks directly to our wallet. Ticketing performance requirements are quite high, but B.A.M has a substantial technology edge over other blockchain frameworks. Our team consists of experienced founders and blockchain experts. This is my third company, and my co-founder Mirko is building blockchain applications since 2016. Our blockchain team has previously built multiple blockchain applications like decentralized exchanges, a crypto payment terminal, a real estate bond issuance and trading platform, and so forth. They are backed by system engineers, data scientists, and full stack developers. And as we think also blockchain application should be easy to use, we have a strong focus on design and user experience. And together we are B.A.M Ticketing. We are also well supported by multiple incubators and accelerators, but one of our greatest achievements was to get a funding of 1 million euro during the pandemic restrictions on live events. We get a lot of requests from around the world, also from really large corporations, from ticketing companies in Asia to major sports leagues in the US. This shows us that our solution is desperately awaited by the market. Ticketing is a real-life application of blockchain technology. So if you agree with us that blockchain ticketing will change the live event industry, then follow us and spread the word. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Georg. It's now over to the jury. Yankee, Mark, Patrick, Alex, Cyrus, and Bastian, please ask your questions.
What kind of traction do you have in terms of revenue and customers and partners?
Well, the revenue I would share with you in a private talk. Well, we piloted, you have seen that we integrated the COVID Health Pass, for example. This was for an international DJ festival where, well, visitors from all over the world were coming. Then we are working with sports clubs who are doing the ticketing during the season. Well, in the pandemic, there were not that many games, but from June to September, there were some games happening. We issued for a Dubai event. We did also the first NFT issuance in that case. And currently we are signing a contract with a Saudi Arabian partner for an exclusive white label partnership of 500,000 tickets a year.
You mentioned your own marketplace. I think so for secondary markets, possible to connect to your marketplace and buying tickets on your own marketplace. Do you already have some secondary marketplace or corporations live, or is it just now in collaboration?
With the ticketing, it's our own marketplace. We drive an API first approach. So anybody could actually integrate the ticketing, either the primary market or the secondary market or both. For the NFTs, we think that the NFTs should be on a broader marketplace like OpenSea, Super Rare, or in the case of sports, it's rather so rare. So for the ticketing, we provide the marketplace and API services, so everybody can actually sell the tickets. And for the NFT part, we basically use APIs and SDKs of the marketplaces which are already there.
Georg, congrats on all the progress and on raising 1 million. I would be interested to hear more about your thinking around. There are, I think, very big vested interests in the market at this moment with the likes of Ticketmaster and so forth, who are probably trying to protect very much their network and their system. So how are you thinking around your go-to-market, your distribution, specifically that knowing that the vested interests here are probably quite important and quite concentrated?
On one hand, we see ourselves as technology provider, so we are talking to also large ticketing companies in Europe. On the other hand, we enable basically everybody to run a node. it is incentivized for the ecosystem of the ticketing, meaning artists, event organizers, promoters, and the fans. But basically, everybody who downloads the node could simply spin up their own white labeled ticketing solution, and all the transactions are handled by the network in the end. So everybody can be its own ticketing company in the end.
And does it mean that it will be supported by a token then, if everybody can run their own nodes to build a community or to share certain incentives?
There is no internal token for running a node because we don't think this is necessary. It's more the tokens we are going to issue are loyalty tokens for artists, for venues, but even for event organizers.
Okay, thanks very much, Georg. That concludes the pitch on B.A.M Ticketing. You certainly didn't have an easy time in those past 2 years when there were virtually no concerts, so hats off to you. Next 5 minutes pitch is with Mina Cordy from Tracifier. Mina, you're on. Is Mina still with us?
You're still, Mina, you're muted still. Can you unmute yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, yes, I'm here. I just wanted to share my screen. Yeah. Just give me 1 more second, please. Perfect. Is everything
Full screen works, yes.
Great. Cool. Thank you very much, everyone, for sharing your votes and giving us the second chance to communicate our project. At Tracifier, we aim to empower sustainable businesses with supply chain traceability solutions. Starting with our mission is we want to reduce food waste and develop sustainability practices in the agribusiness worldwide by blockchain-enabled system for provenance, traceability, and efficiency. Why food market? Because consumers are losing their trust to this market. People are getting sick. The system is still paper-based. It's still manual. Fresh food is wasted before it's been consumed, and companies are losing their profit to prevent the fraud in their business. Therefore, the demand for food traceability is really growing year by year in billions. And I want to bring you one step further to the problem or pain point in food supply chain management itself. Why food? Why this market? Because our current supply chain system is very complex. If you want to have visibility in your system, it brings lots of cost to you. Data are stored in companies itself. It's not communicated. There is lack of trust between parties who don't know each other. So if you want to have a trustable relationship, you need to rely on inspectors and have a long-term validation process. And then lastly is the documentation, and business is still manual and paper-based. What we are doing at Tracifier, we are trying to transform these systems. We are bringing visibility to your supply chain, like making that first of all clean, but we are bringing this visibility using IoT technology. We are developing the kind of independent data sharing platform between you and your partners. So this platform is going to be a bridge between the ERP system of your company and your suppliers, and the data are going to be pulled automatically. And we are automating the verification process. We are using smart contracts and NFT labeling. And lastly is automating the validation process by cryptographic auditing. Here is how it looks like. Corporates are inviting their suppliers. Suppliers are going to have access to a B2B dashboard. They're going to upload their information and the documents. And when the transaction is finished, we are creating NFT out of each of these transactions. And at the end, all of these NFT is going to be linked to a final QR code which going to be attached to a product. So the information in this QR code going to be shared definitely in a complete version internally in a B2B dashboard, and partly in a B2C mobile app with end consumer. Therefore, to sum it up, we are targeting 4 industry-specific functions, that's about tracing the product upstream and downstream of supply chain, that's about validating the certification of the business and documents which is engaged there. The next is about data analytics. We are using that to extend the freshness of product and connecting you with your business partners. That benefit gonna be we are using this automation that result in shortening your supply chain process, and the follow-up result is your product gonna have extended shelf lifetime, and any following advantage you're gonna have as a business owner by a shorter supply chain process. Our commitment to sustainability, we are going in 3 different environments. First is about the global environment. Is we're tackling food waste that results in protecting the resources, natural resources such as water, to be wasted, and then also results in protecting the environment from extra greenhouse gas emission which produced for wasted products. We are going towards zero hunger strategy by feeding the rest of the world with food, and toward innovation with the market. Another aspect about our USP, comparing to other guys, we are using NFT for proving the product and certificate authenticity and cryptographic auditing. Pricing structure is based on monthly subscription and installation fee. And lastly is about our revenue. Is we have a current growing revenue, and we have some pilot project to do in new year. The team is a really foodie and very passionate about food, and then that's all about Tracifier, just to be on time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mina. You talking about all the food makes me really hungry. But over to the jury, we have 4.5 minutes for questions.
Thank you, Mina, for this great presentation. How are you funded so far? Are you bootstrapped, or did you get any funding yet?
Yeah. So definitely we started with bootstrapping. We started small, but then we got venture capital from the UK, and we are sponsored currently.
And Mina, a quick question around all the stakeholders you're trying to get involved. Why would suppliers do this? And have you additional information on that? For instance, I've read that Walmart is trying to do that as well. I'm not sure to which degree they're successful.
Yeah, so the Walmart example is a very familiar, I should say, famous example, and their collaboration with IBM Food Trust is, the problem is exactly the market, which required more information. So there is some market research that people are switching brands. If a competitor brand provide more information about the detail of product, to say where this product is coming from, if this is organic, is real organic or no. From another report from FDA said like 40% of organic products sold in the US have been tested positive for pesticide. So all of these kind of disruption in the market pushes companies toward bringing more traceability and transparency to their business process. I should say traceability comes to Europe based on law. We have Lieferkettengesetz and similar regulation. And in the US, it comes based on the market requirement.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One question, could you point out specifically which blockchain you're using and what the advantage over a centralized database would be in your solution?
Yes, we are using Hyperledger Fabric. We are also part of Oracle for a startup program. Therefore, we're using Hyperledger Fabric empowered by Oracle. And why Hyperledger is because most of the supply chain traceability use cases are built around this technology and this part of blockchain. And it gives us lots of opportunity to integrate our system and build a consortium and bring companies to our project. Because then the systems can talk with each other.
Okay, we have time for one more question.
Yeah, happy to shoot one. Mina, you said you will save 4 or 5 days.
Yes.
What is the basis, the full basis on which you're saving those 4 or 5 days? And
yes, exactly.
How come you are saving those 5 days? I didn't understand what drives this.
4 to 5 days, right? So it's based on also my personal experience in the food market, in the certification part, which we are seeing companies receiving a certificate, for example, which says your product is proved, but or some of them are receiving a certificate which says you're not allowed to trade your product, but some suppliers are changing these numbers because they want to sell their product anyhow and things. So this kind of that caused fraud happen in the market automatically. So this process needs validation, needs calling to inspector company to say, hey, if this certificate I received is correct or no, if this supplier is verified supplier or no, can you check it for me? This validation process of suppliers, of documents, all of them take time. And we say by using smart contracts, we are automating this verification process, and that potentially bring 4 to 5 days here.
Okay, thank you very much to the jury. Thank you very much, Mina. Moving on to the last 5 minutes pitch in our seed category, CO2 DAO. Olaf?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, CO2 DAO, the world's first decentralized carbon market. So we ask a lot of people and also organizations why they don't try to reduce more CO2. And the answers were similar. They said, we aren't the core, there are others, big corporations that are in control. And where's our benefit? So our solution is instant incentivation. For every ton of carbon that is reduced from the atmosphere, the reducer gets 1 token in its wallet. And as I showed you, there are 3 groups. On one side, the offsetter, a company that wants to compensate their CO2 emissions. And on the other side, small reducers like you and me, and projects like the one from Pablo here. We talked to Pablo and he said he has to deal with a lot of bureaucratic fundraising stuff. And he would really like to get the funds directly from one source. And we can provide for every ton of CO2, we can provide tokens. And Pablo, in the case he needs cash for expensive to pay for tree seeds and stuff, he can sell those tokens. So we have a number of certified projects, different kind of reducing projects that are certified by our partners from Vera or Gold Standard. And the other group is people that download our app and can earn rewards and even vote on climate decisions. And we can make all their climate actions measurable by our network of partners. We have one network of charging stations, e-mobility. We talk to app providers for traveling apps so that if you go to train for vacation, all the kilometers you traveled by train are tracked. And we secured a deal with a green energy provider that provides his customers with our tokens on the monthly green energy bill. So the companies are the ones who are looking for trusted offsetting solutions and are willing to pay for that. They want to show and use the climate neutral seal to show that they are climate conscious. And this is a 3-step process. The company buys those tokens. The DAO burns the exact amount of carbon tokens equivalent to the carbon footprint. And there's a network of validators that checks the correctness in a process of crowdsourcing. And only then the company is eligible to show the climate neutral seal of approval on their website or even on their packaging. So I always get the question, why a DAO? So my example is, imagine Bitcoin wasn't a DAO, but just a normal corporation. So the Bitcoin CEO would make all the decisions, and so that the shareholders profit, and thousands of employees would handle the data and assets. That wouldn't have made the mass adoption of Bitcoin possible, I think. Next slide. So we saw the ecosphere of climate tech companies and really saw that they can't grow fast enough for the problem we have here. Most of them are really centralized. They are working in a B2B niche, and they are dependent on voluntary donation, I would say. So our approach is really to include the public, to include B2C, and to offer real economic incentives here. Because the markets are really huge and growing in a fast pace. I read that 300 billion US dollars are already in the market. And we, between the mandatory markets and the existing voluntary markets, we are the first decentralized carbon market, which is barrier-free and open for everyone. Yeah, so let's join the forces to save the planet. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Olaf. Floor is open for the jury.
Quickly before we start into the Q&A, just one quick note. Since we had like all three pitches now, I would ask the jury to please use the jury sheet that we have sent them. It's a Google form that we've sent to jury members to do a voting session now for the 3 startups. So they already updated in the sheet. Please take now the next 30 seconds to complete your vote. And while we calculate the scores and prepare the announcement the next 5 minutes after, you guys can jump right into the Q&A.
Okay, here we go. Jury.
Yeah, happy to ask a question here. I wonder, Olaf, how you think around solving the problem of gathering the correct data so that you're not hitting as what they call garbage in is garbage out. So it seems like you're working for the validation of the data with certification agents or validator agents. So there is an important connection with everything that's happening in the off-chain world. But I also know that there are other solutions focused on this. So how would you prevent a double spend problem where one project is issuing the CO2 certificates via your solution, but maybe also doing it via another solution? And so in the end, the CO2 savings of a specific project gets sold off 2 times to the market or even more.
Yeah, the double spending is a well-known problem. Yeah, good to point that out. So I think on one hand, the blockchain technology is a perfect solution for that, you know, again, because it's really transparent for everyone to see. On the other hand, if you point out the problem of being one on-chain credit and one off-chain credit, so that's why we're talking to the big certifiers like Vera and Gold Standard, because these are really in the spotlight of the public. And we also reached out to many of MRV companies who really focusing to tackle this problem. We can't solve the double spending problem on our own, so we are also counting on partners to do that with us together. Thank you.
So there is one question coming from audience for Olaf, for you. So they're asking for like, who are your competitors? They mentioned the name like KlimaDAO, Aura, and Toucan protocols. So who do you consider your competitors?
So the the ecosphere is full of players, and that's a good thing. You know, we don't want to compete in this market because we all have the same problem we would like to solve. So our main goal is to collaborate in this field. And KlimaDAO is mentioned a lot because it also has DAO in its name, but it has a totally different use case. It uses blockchain technology, DeFi 2.0, to buy all the crap carbon certificates from the market to make it healthier, you know. And our solutions is more like bringing all the players together, so emitting companies and reducing projects, so that they can help each other to fulfill their goals. So and there are lots of other blockchain projects. So we try to build a framework for all of them, and to connect those. So I don't consider them competitors at all.
There is one question from my side, but I would like to ask first Wolfgang. Do we have still time for question?
We have 1 minute left, yes.
Yes. So Olaf, the question from my side is like, are you also focusing on the agriculture side and some of the like parametric insurance side where CO2 DAO can especially like perform some kind of law, or like actively you participate in that sector?
Yes, of course. As I told you, we have some reforestation projects as well. And so we like to diversify the portfolio of CO2 reducing projects. So even any farms, any agricultural company that has the need, beside their normal farming activities, to also get an income stream for sequestration and reducing CO2 would be welcome to join the platform. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Olaf.
Thanks.
That concludes our session of the 3 finalists for the seed stage. Ben, what's the result?
Yes, just evaluated. So thanks for all the staff for pitching. Thanks to jury members for voting. It's kind of a close call, especially between the second and the third rank. So I'm pleased to announce that third place today goes to Mina from Tracifier. Second place goes to Olaf from CO2 DAO, and the first place again goes to, same as last year, but last year Georg was in the pre-seed stage, to Georg from B.A.M Ticketing. So congratulations to all of you. We have prepared NFT award, a unique NFT award for the seed stage for first, second, and third prize. And together with BTC Echo, we have prepared some content that we will send you in form of physical boxes that are supposed to arrive before Christmas. Since you guys are all based within Europe or the DACH region, this should be quite easy for the delivery. We were afraid we have some US startups where it might take a little bit longer. So again, thanks to everyone. Thanks to the jury members and thanks to the startups for the seed stage. We will have a short break now of 5 minutes, so a little bit more than 5 minutes. So we start sharp at 11 a.m. to then go into the Series A stage with the last batch of 10 startups and 6 new jury members in that time. So for the next few minutes, please, everyone, feel free to stay in the line to watch the last 60 minutes of pitch session today. In the meantime, our team will onboard the new startups and onboard the new jury members. For the current startups and jury members, please do not be surprised. So for logistical reasons, we will put you back into, most of you back into the participants position. So to turn off video and audio and onboard the new ones, so we do not get too crammed with the onboarding ones. Thanks everyone, and yeah, feel free to go for a quick coffee break.
So Alex, how was your experience about El Salvador? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was great. I think it was a great experience because it's part of the innovation and digitalization program, and there's some so Bitcoin introduction is part of that huge program. And there's some real use cases. So remittances is a use case, payment of bills. Just to give you an example, some people in El Salvador have to take the bus for 2 hours in order to pay with cash their bills, and now they can use Lightning, or they can send the Lightning invoice to their friends in the US, and it's all free. So I think the use cases are there and acceptance is growing. It's still very early. And very last point, I think what's very interesting, I talked to a consultant who was consulting with the governments in Middle America, and his estimation was that 5 to 10 countries will adopt Bitcoin next year. So maybe not, but if they do, it's going to be very big.
Understood. Thanks. So you're planning to move some of the HTGF investment to El Salvador?
Yeah, it was a private trip. Actually, I paid it by myself to vacation because it's a little bit off focus for us. But I think in terms of a technology and innovation perspective, I think it could be very, very big.
Yes,
it was great to follow your journey, Alex, on LinkedIn.
Yes. Yeah, we met like congressman of El Salvador in Hamburg. Actually, was also hoping you would be there, but I think was too busy with other work. So we were at Blockchain's Hamburg last week.
What's that?
The conference in Hamburg. We were at a Blockchain's Hamburg, and we were hoping that you will come again with the buy Bitcoin sample, and you are putting on everyone's head.
Yeah, I couldn't go. I was just busy. Now it's the Christmas craze.
Great.
So our trip next year will be to the next country who adopts it, and the favorites are Ecuador and Argentina. So the most discussed countries.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely interesting to watch.
All right, so it's 11 a.m. Then I suggest we continue. So hi everyone who has just joined us recently in the last few minutes. I'm Benjamin from Blockrocket. Most of you guys have probably already met me at some point, and today I'm delighted to host this event together with my team and also with Wolfgang from BFG. Wolfgang and me, we moderate the event together. And just to give you a quick overview, so for this last stage today, the stage Series A, we have invited 10 startups in the Series A stage, like around Series A more or less. And we've invited 6 jury members to participate as well. And of course, you as the audience to then help us to decide which of these 10 startups will receive the awards together with the jury during this session. So just quickly for the overview of the agenda, we have 10 startups that have the opportunity to pitch their idea in 60 seconds each. So it's a 10-minute time slot, 10 startups, 60 seconds each. And then after these 10 startups, the audience and only the audience, not the jury members for this round, will vote among these 10 elevator pitches which 3 startups they like the most. And these 3 startups then have the opportunity to pitch for, like, they get 10 minutes each extra. So we have half an hour for the second half of the session. And the startups have 5 minutes pitch, 5 minutes Q&A. They can stretch it a bit, so it can also be 6 minutes and 4 minutes Q&A, that's fine. And then it is only the jury that we've invited today that will vote via a Google form that we have sent them to decide what is the ranking for the award. So which one has the first prize, the second prize, and third prize. So far, so good for the agenda. And now over to Wolfgang to introduce our jury for the Series A stage.
Yes, hello to those who just joined. I'm again glad to introduce a stellar jury for our Series 1 part, which is obviously the most mature startups. I'll start with Sven Wagenknecht. Obviously, Sven is from our sponsor, BTC Echo. Welcome. Welcome to have you here. Glad to have you here. He's the editor-in-chief at BTC Echo, which, as most of you know, is the largest German language media forum on the subject of blockchain. Welcome, Sven. Then from LeadBlock Partners, we have Carla Puel. LeadBlock is a London-based blockchain VC with many prominent investments under their belt. From India, currently in the US, we have Pranav Sharma from Woodstock Fund. It's a fund house investing in emerging technologies. Then we have Christoph Ibanez. Very glad to have you here, Christoph. is one of the early crypto entrepreneurs, and he's the CFO at Nuri, formerly known as Bitwala. Welcome from Berlin, Christoph. Glad to have you here. Then we have from Price Waterhouse Coopers, it's Hussein Kapasi. His focus is on digital transformation and obviously everything around the blockchain context that his clients don't understand yet, but need and want to understand. And last but not least, it's Niklas Hanser, partner and head of technology at investment banking at Sachsenhammer, focusing on M&A and fundraising transactions. Very glad to have you here for the Series A stage. Welcome to the jury. So without much further ado, we'll jump right into the first startup, the first 60-second pitch. And it's Moritz Putzhammer from Charity in Vienna will kick off the session. Moritz, are you ready to go?
I'm absolutely ready. How are you guys doing? All right. Good morning. Thank you very much. I'm Moritz from Triality. So in the future, as you know, everything is going to be automated by bots, right? It doesn't matter whether it's our communication, smart home, transportation. And in that future, when it comes to automated investing, there will be only one place to go, and that's Triality. So we founded Triality in response to the volatile and mostly unpredictable crypto market. Triality brings automated investing to all those who need it. Now, in professional trading, already over 90% of trading is completely automated based on algorithms. But in private investments, we don't see this kind of automation. The vast majority of traders are losing money as we speak. In fact, over 80% of private traders can't turn a profit. At Triality, we aim to change this. We're building a marketplace platform for crypto trading bots, which will eventually become a one-stop shop for all automated investments of our users. So trading bots will manage their investments in environments that's both easily accessible and highly curated, across asset classes, across platforms, all in one place. That's Triality. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Moritz. Next on is either Martin or Adriana. I don't know who of you is presenting from Adhash. It's a privacy-focused advertising protocol.
Yeah, it's me. It's Adriana here.
Perfect. Hello, welcome, Adriana. Fire away.
Thanks for having us. Okay, you should be able to see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, right, let's go. Okay, well, Adhash is a privacy-focused advertising technology company. We use blockchain to remove the hundreds of advertising middlemen. This allows ad-supported online media to capture more of the value they create. It gives advertisers an unprecedented level of transparency and control over their ad budgets, and it helps people to access free content online without having to sacrifice their privacy. Now, what's significant about this blockchain application is that it has far-reaching implications extending beyond the crypto space. Advertising is a $400 billion industry, which funds the open internet. And so privacy-focused advertising can positively impact the lives of just anyone using the internet, really. And that's 4.6 billion people. Now, sorry about this. Now it's 19 of us. We're live and running. We've already helped advertisers reach millions of people across Europe and the United States. And with your help, we can grow 1,000-fold, creating advertising that sells products to people without turning people into products. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adriana from Adhash. And now moving on to Ignacio Franco from Sportchain in Luxembourg, talking about a compliance solution for crypto assets. Ignacio?
Thanks, Manel. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'll start. So what is your biggest nightmare when you're like in the crypto business? I think one of the biggest problems we have is we're afraid that we'll wake up, open up our app, our wallet, and we would be in zeros, or that we will send some money and it would eventually end up in a hack or in this website that wasn't supposed to be. So we're Scorching, the compliance solution for crypto asset regulation. We're an easy to use and customizable risk AML software for cryptocurrencies. So we help traditional finance and crypto businesses to be able to track the AML and risk assessment for all the transactions that are happening. So when you're like on the end of the user, normally you cannot see what's happening, right? But maybe you're doing this transaction and you don't know that in the background you're sending some money to their dark web or to a scam. So what can we do? Even though we know there's at least about 300,000 transactions of Bitcoin every day. So what if you can think about how many with the rest of the tokens? We have APIs that can connect to your systems and we can help you track to make the crypto world a safer place. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ignacio. Everybody's perfectly on time. That was the score chain from Luxembourg. And now moving over to Venly and Tim Dirksen talking about NFT market and tools. Tim?
Yes, thank you. Hi, I'm Tim Dirksen. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Venly. And I'm proud to say we've been helping businesses to build their metaverses for the past 2 to 3 years. Now, one of the biggest problems with building a metaverse around blockchain technology is entering Web 3.0. It's one of the biggest hurdles that has been out there today. And we have the perfect solution to solve that, where we're onboarding millions of users to tap into that market. Now, if you look at Tim Sweeney, he also already considers this a multi-trillion-dollar business, and we certainly agree that this is a big business opportunity that you cannot miss out on. Vote for Venly, and we can discuss the next steps.
Thanks very much, Tim. Right on time. That was Tim with Venly. And now moving over to cyber insurance, Luis Santiago is going to present Breach. Luis?
Thanks for having me. I'm Luis Santiago, head of growth for Breach Insurance. Breach Insurance is creating a regulated crypto-centric insurance solutions that provide investors and institutions with options to protect themselves against crippling hacks to digital asset exchanges, third-party wallets, and custodians where they store their crypto. There's a significant gap here between traditional insurance and crypto. So we want to provide the same peace of mind that SIPC and FDIC provide to investors here in the United States. Our first solution will bring insurance options to US crypto investors to protect them against hacks and fraud leading to theft of their crypto on crypto exchanges. We'll quickly expand countrywide and then enter the UK and EU later in 2022. We also see this opportunity is very similar to institutions and other businesses that also are in the crypto economy. We're a founding team of builders with deep experience in insurance, banking, and crypto, and building insurance solutions that leverage partnerships with traditional reinsurers, brokers, as well as crypto native startups. I think because of this, we are uniquely positioned to create the world's first 100% digital, fully regulated, full stack insurance platform that will serve the ever-growing needs of the crypto economy. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Luis. That was Luis from Breach, and now it's Tangani from Munich, and Martin Kreitmeier is going to present the company to us. Martin? Martin, you may be on mute because we can't hear you. Can anybody see if Martin is there? Otherwise, we'll just start with the next one.
How about Wolfgang? You move on to the next one and I will reach out to him.
Okay, next one is going to be Finoa from Berlin, and Marius Smith is going to present us the company.
Do you hear
Marius?
me? Hello, hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Fantastic.
Fire away.
So 2021 has been a super exciting year for the crypto ecosystem, and we've certainly seen growing interest among institutions and corporations, both in Germany, but also in Europe. The industry still has to overcome considerable challenges, and regulation, security, usability are still key to mainstream adoption. So at Finoa, we set out to tackle this problem with a unique warm storage custody solution that combines best-in-class German engineering with the highest security standards. And we help institutions bridge access to this exciting crypto ecosystem in a seamless and regulated way. So this year, our team of top management consultants and security veterans have shown that we are one of the industry leaders. We raised a 22 million Series A round. We've grown the team to more than 80 individuals. We're one of the first custodians in the world to support exciting new Layer 1 projects at launch. And today we serve more than 300 investors and corporations globally with very sophisticated needs. So we hope that you'll consider us as a finalist today so we can show you our pitch deck and also explain a little bit more about how we have emerged as one of the leading crypto startups, not only in Germany, but also in Europe. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Marius from Finoa. And next one is Jan Stockhausen from EtherRisk, talking about decentralized insurance protocols. Jan,
Hi, everyone.
are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm just gonna try and share my screen. There we go. Just a second.
We can see it. You just have to full size it. Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Today's insurance market is exclusive, expensive, and inefficient. To resolve this, EtherRisk has built a decentralized insurance platform where multiple actors can come together to build fairer insurance products. The platform is based on Ethereum, open source, and free for everyone to use. It allows the end-to-end automation of parametric insurance products as smart contracts. These digital insurance policies can be connected to data sources and payment systems. Projects currently hosted on our platform include flight delay insurance, crop insurance, and hurricane protection. This year, our platform insured 17,000 smallholder farmers in Kenya against the effects of climate change. We aim to bring decentralized insurance to massive scale, become the main hub where DeFi capital is used to cover real-world risks. If you would like to find out how saving smallholder farmers will disrupt the insurance industry and make you some money, vote for EtherRisk.
Thank you, Jan. That was EtherRisk from Zurich. Next up is Sylvia Timborn talking about XVA blockchain. Sylvia?
Yeah, great. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Starting up, but not yet.
Just try it again. Here we go.
It says click twice to start full screen.
This one?
Yes, now we can see.
Yeah, now you can see it. Great.
Go
So
ahead.
let's rock this. Hello, I'm Sylvia Timborn from XVA Blockchain. I'm a member of the advisory board. We manage your financial transformation. XVA Blockchain uses smart contracts to disrupt traditional markets for financial instruments. We take central clearing counterparties out of the process. Precisely, we calculate a regulatory metric of value adjustments called XVA. We also serve as an oracle at the settlement of financial instruments. We started in Germany 4 years ago and had 2 successful seed funding rounds so far. Our current clients are European corporations like banks, exchanges, and payment services. We target the global capital market for OTC derivatives. It is 25 times larger than the GDP of the US. Our diverse team brings expertise from over 60 companies. XVA blockchain, value calculation is our expertise. Blockchain is our technology. Thanks for listening. Please vote for us.
Thank you very much, Sylvia from XVA blockchain. And last one is Fong Dao. You probably heard this many times, but it's the best name to have in the blockchain universe. Fong will talk about iVE.ONE. Please, fire away.
Thank you. So I'm Fong, CEO of iVE.ONE. Most people at this event here think that people go to Coinbase, Binance, or other exchanges to buy digital assets like Bitcoin. But 99% of society doesn't, partly because trust is still lacking and an important matter to be solved. So why do I have to go to a provider I don't know to buy Bitcoin? Digital assets are not yet on the mass market, and this is what we want to change. iVE.ONE is a white label digital asset infrastructure that financial institutions and corporates use via APIs to offer cryptocurrencies and tokenized assets to their customers. This simple integration saves them time, money, and know-how. And you as a customer will be able to purchase digital assets like Bitcoins or NFTs directly through your bank. You as a customer have a trusted counterparty and no longer have to worry about your investment. And if you want to do this, please vote for us. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much, Fong. It does seem that we were not able to trace Martin from Tanzania. Martin, if you're there, speak up now or hold your peace forever. I don't think he's here, so we'll have nine startups. to vote for. Ben, over to you for the voting process.
Yes, thanks, Wolfgang. So at this point, Alexandra, please launch the Zoom call. And every participant now has the opportunity to vote for the startup they would like to see in the next round. So we have the next 60 seconds to take time. Please do your vote. We'll share the results of the vote publicly after, so everyone can see the results. We have 50% of the votes already completed. So if you haven't voted, then please do so now. We have a startup that's clear leading already. That's great. I think number 2 is also clear. So the votes right now count for the 3rd spot, which startup can pitch as well.
It's also neck-to-neck competition between XVA and iVE, I think, for the 3rd spot.
Yes, it's a close call.
Yes.
So last reminder, if you haven't voted yet, please do so now. Like, we have almost 80% of the votes are completed. Okay. I think we can close it here. Please share the results. Perfect. So the 3 startups for the next round are Adhash, Venly, and iVE.ONE. So congrats to you guys. And I would suggest we jump right off to iVE.ONE for the first pitch for the next 10-minute slot. Stage is yours.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So I'm going to present you today iVE.ONE, and we are digital asset adoption for financial institutions and corporates. So what's our vision? Our vision in general means better digital assets for everyone. Our mission itself is like, we want to enable access for corporates, banks, asset managers, investment companies to a more modernized capital market with blockchain tech. So we talked to a lot of financial institutions, and what we heard is that they are more looking for a reliable, secure, ready-to-use infrastructure where they can offer tokenized securities or cryptocurrencies to their clients without technology or without technical knowledge. And our product provides like a white label digital asset infrastructure with an intuitive and user-centric interface for all these digital asset classes. And this over simple APIs. So if we look into this current world, we see that digital banking is changing the whole industry, and it's not like the normal banks. Why the neobanks, for example? They are faster in financial trends. Yeah, so it means like they can offer direct cryptocurrencies if they see this trend coming up. They are digital, available anywhere, immediately via mobile, and they are super customer focused. Yeah, so it means like they have a new way to offer it to the end customers. And banks are not part of this journey. But why should they join? Because on the one hand, it's like to create a new revenue stream for them, yeah, to add, for example, digital assets, a different kind of customer journey. Yeah, you have new touch points in a digital way. And the third point, everything is going anyways more digital. So a new way to acquire new customers with technology trends. And how do you join like this digital asset industry? There are 2 ways. One is to become a technology provider yourself. And second, you use the infrastructure from a digital asset provider. So if you become a tech provider yourself, you have many challenges. First of all, missing know-how. You have to build it up first to create something like digital assets. The second is like IT infrastructure. Most of the financial institutions or corporates have like really old legacy and an old IT infrastructure. So it means like they cannot directly change it. And the third point is like go to market. It takes a lot of time, like nearly 250 months to create like a viable product. But you can become a partner of iVE.ONE. Yeah, so it means like we already have like the whole digital asset infrastructure. We have a modern tech stack that you can integrate autonomous to the banks. Yeah, so it means like you don't have to go to the core banking systems. So it doesn't take like 5 years or 6. And as a fintech, we're fast. Up to now, we nearly spent like 2 million and 7.5 man-years to create the leading white label digital asset infrastructure. So as I mentioned before, we empower any company to offer digital assets, if it's corporates, banks, asset managers, or investment companies. So this is like our iVE.ONE ecosystem. And as you can see, we built our own tech, but we also work like as an aggregator, for example, where we integrate different kinds of custodians to offer it directly to the banks. We work super modular. So it means we do the work for you. You can focus on your core business. Yeah. We have removed building blocks that you can use to create like different kind of products. So do you want to tokenize? Do you want cryptocurrencies? So do you want both? Yeah. So this is what we can offer. And we have a trusted ecosystem where we work like really with regulated partners, like bigger ones, yeah, that are also trusted at third-party providers. So this is how it can look like, for example. Yeah. So you see that we have like different kind of APIs, but it looks quite simple. Yeah, even if it's like for different kind of banks. So where are we right now? So we have 15 plus customers, quite huge ones, and we have an amazing qualified lead pipeline. Yeah, where we currently talk to the management board of State Street, for example, of Allianz Global Investors, and also like in Australia with ANZ. And we are backed by strong investors like HEGF, Cantor, CBDC, or Block.one. We are iVE.ONE. We are 20 plus members. We have a really strong tech team. We speak more than 50 languages. We're super diverse, and we are a unique mix of experts like bankers, entrepreneurs, sales, legals, and designers. This is our founder team. I'm Phong, CEO. We have Evgeny, our CPO, taking care of the whole product and projects and design, and Robert, our CTO. And together we have more than 40 years experience in the financial industry. And even better, our advisory board. So our advisory board consists out of management board members, and also, for example, Michael Reuter, who's like a former board member of Commerzbank, is really pushing this whole topic forward. So this is it. So thank you very much for listening. And yeah, if you have any questions, just ask them. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Phong. Then it's back to the jury. So Sven, Carla, Pranav, Christoph, Yusen, and Nicholas, please ask any question you may have. We have 5 minutes. Who wants to start?
Perhaps I can start. Phong, hello, good to see you here. What's your business model for this case? How do you monetize? Are you bound in as a platform versus being a business partner and technology provider? How does that look like? And are you, the second question is a little bit regulatory tricky one. Will you then become an outsourcing partner of those financial institutions?
Yes, so regulatory wise, we don't want to have the claim that we need to do something on the regulatory part, because as I said, it becomes a little bit tricky, right? So it means like in the first place, we act just as technology provider. That's like case number one. And our business model consists out of 3 different kinds of revenue streams. Yeah, on the first one, it's like project setup, which is more like on increasing like our cash flow. The second one is like an annual recurring revenue license model. Yeah, that, for example, the bank is paying us for the license up to 500,000 to $1 million. Yeah, and the third one is like based on transaction fees. Yeah, where we participate, for example, on each transaction of like Bitcoin, for example. Yeah, and this is like our current 3 revenue streams plus like just tech provider, no regulatory stuff right now, because the bank itself is has mostly all the licenses so that they can take care of this.
Yeah, probably one question from my side. I mean, commercial traction, I understand, is still a bit limited, I would think, right? At the beginning, obviously. Don't you have like the fear that when you work together with the banks, that they will just internalize the whole thing and look how you do it and then basically offer the service themselves, or kind of through their retail platforms or something? Is this a fear that you're facing, or?
Yeah, we thought about it, yeah. But to be honest, if you look like into this whole banking world, I don't think they are right now in the position to just like copy this whole thing. Yeah, because overall, if you work in a bank, and I think everyone knows it here, the processes are super long. Yeah, if they say like, okay, I will send you an email fast. Yeah, so it means like at least like 2 weeks. Yeah, and in general, if you get some approval, it always takes longer. Yeah, so at the current position, it's not like the banks are looking like for a partner, yeah, because also like from the whole legacy, it's not like that can easily be integrated, yeah. So they're looking like for an autonomous solution that they can just directly dock, yeah. And the best case scenario is of course like we partner up with the banks, yeah, and then suddenly a bank comes and says, okay, I purchase you guys, yeah. So that's like what we're looking for.
Okay, yeah, or stock exchange, who knows? Yeah. Good.
And sorry, maybe one question about competition.
Yes.
So how do you see competition? And for example, we've seen exchanges like Bitpanda, they now launched this B2B product, and they're helping financial institutions and banks access all those digital assets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because what I saw was exactly like 3 weeks ago that suddenly Bitpanda is also like offering this, but this is a good sign. Yeah, it's not something like a real competition because I think the market is big enough. Yeah, but it's a definitely good sign that, for example, a huge unicorn from Austria is suddenly also offering this whole type of B2B infrastructure to like financial institutions. So it just means for me that we are definitely going to the right direction. Yeah, so definitely the market is big enough. Yeah, but of course, like you have to look for like for what are you positioning. And from what I see right now is like, this is not the core business of Bitpanda. Yeah, so Bitpanda has like 10,000 other things to do there. And this is like really our core business, that we really focus on this whole tech stuff for like the financial institutions.
Okay, thank you very much, Phong. We need to wrap it up at this point.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Moving over to Tim from Venly. Tim, are you ready?
I'm ready. Thanks again. I'm just going to share my screen. Thank you for voting and for having us pitch in the second round. As we already were saying, is we're helping game companies and businesses to enter into Metaverse. Let's just take a quick look at our logo, where you can actually see a lot of what we're building right in there. First of all, you see the arrow pointing down. This is where you're going to be managing NFTs. Then you also see two people talking to each other. So 1, 2. And this is where they're going to be transacting with each other. Then again, you also see two lightning bolts coming together in the gamified approach within that Metaverse ecosystem. And we truly believe all of that is going to be on Web3 technology. Now, it is already a multi-trillion-dollar business opportunity. We're not the first to say it, but we are the first to have entered the Metaverse slogan before it was actually cool and before Facebook actually changed the name to Meta. This is where we see the biggest problem. Everybody's shouting Web3 is the new innovation. We're all going to move it. It's going to change the internet, but the entrance to that is completely broken, and we're all focusing on Web3 technology itself. But the mainstream users, they're all Web2, and they need to enter that ecosystem. Well, traditional services like MetaMask is not going to cut it. We've been saying this for the past couple of years, and now we see there's a lot of adoption happening to our services to make it available. We're already enabling users to log in with Google, Twitter, Facebook, and email to get their blockchain wallet directly through our services and immediately link that to the application, the business use case, the metaverse that we're talking about. That has been so successful until now that we're now onboarding 20 to 25,000 users on a daily basis. From the beginning of the year, we were onboarding 10 to 20 users on a daily basis. We're doing this with multiple game studios and partners that we have. We're leading in this space. And we also have a very strong collaboration with or partnership with multiple blockchain networks. It just so happens that this is a trusted partnership where we're doing business development on both ends. We're their strategic partner. So these are Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, Hedera, and Avalanche. What really makes us special is we focus everything on the API level. We bring it one step higher, and it's not just about wallet technology. Everybody confuses Venly as just a wallet provider. No, we're so much more than that. We have wallet, NFT, and marketplace technology all coming together within our APIs, and we're further extending that into Web 2.0 platforms. That in combination with our blockchain partnerships, there we see our USP really moving forward. We already have the integration in Unity. So the first 15 to 20 game studios are using or utilizing that alpha. They're giving us a product feedback while we're further improving that plugin. Shopify, they came to us to have a no-code solution, an app within Shopify that is now live in closed beta with Polygon. We also closed two more deals for the two different blockchain networks that we support, and we're probably going to close the third deal as well. This is to give them a no-code solution as in bringing NFTs into the Shopify so that merchants on that store can move forward and have their own custom solution. If you look at Venly as a technology provider, we see clients integrating us directly. We see it extending through the different Web 2.0 platforms like in the game engine and the e-commerce store. And all the users that are buying and getting the NFTs within their services, they're getting it within our wallet solutions. As said, we already have more than 1 million users that are using our wallet solutions, and we're driving a lot of NFTs inside that wallet, as in what you saw with the arrow. And then we're converting that to the marketplace, into that infrastructure and ecosystem. Our global vision is to be the global technology provider, to integrate in each and every big game engine that is available out there, as well as the biggest Web 2.0 e-commerce platforms, because we want to tap into the Web 2.0 and bring them into Web 3 and make it accessible. We also want to be the launch pad to support tokenized businesses. This is where we're getting the best companies in our inbound leads, where we get to know them at the earliest of stages, and where we can understand their business model, and where we can support their tokenized vision as a technology partner and as a strategic partner. Finally, with our agnostic NFT market, this is where we also want to drive revenue. If you bring that all together within the metaverse, we're creating more and more partnerships between our clients. So we're concentrating on metaverse partnerships. We're creating an own NFT ecosystem as a Venly membership ecosystem. Then we also have a loyalty engagement that is happening within the marketplace that is fully designed and is ready to be rolled out for development. We're integrating our solutions in different apps, and we're connecting to different blockchain networks. We don't do NFT staking protocols and are not the payment gateways, but we do bundle them as best as possible within our technology solutions. So our goal is to be fully compliant and to bring the two worlds closer together. How we monetize, we actually monetize on different levels. We monetize with the e-commerce apps, with the widget that we're providing to onboard, with the game SDKs. In the wallet, we also have a percentage for token swapping and percentage for fiat to crypto. And when we're driving the conversion to the market, there we're also taking 2% of sale volume. Now, the merchants that we're onboarding on the e-commerce side, they get the primary story, but we can also then upsell the market APIs so that they can create their own custom peer-to-peer marketplace, where our market will also aggregate all of the NFTs that are being created to our different clients. If you look at the numbers, we closed our seed round in April. We grew our team from 6 to 16. We just hired 5 more people, or 6 more people actually. And we grew our wallets from 10,000 users to more than 1 million users. So right now onboarding about 600 to 800,000 users on a monthly basis. So we rapidly see that growing to more than 10 million users. We projected to have 350,000 revenues for this year. We actually made more than 1 million. And with the projection of 2022, that's looking very healthy for us as well. We still have a cash position of 2 million, the amount that we raised. That's because everything that we've built so far, we actually did that on our own revenues. It is our goal to be more ambitious and to grow more aggressively, but we concentrated on building a leadership team first and then scaling the team so that we can spend that money sensibly. If you look at a financial raise, we have 2 visions forward. One is we continue being the best technology provider, or we take a more bold approach and we're the global player to enter the metaverse. If you're looking at different uses of funds, this is how we see it being focused on the core platform.
Tim, if you could slowly come, we only have 2 minutes left. That includes questions.
All right,
so
sorry.
Just,
then
come
here
to
we are. This is the final end. Thank you for your time and happy to hear your questions.
Perfect. We have 2 minutes for questions. Over to the jury.
May I start? So thanks, Tim. Regarding your revenue streams, Which role does your token play, or what is it used for? I didn't get that.
So we don't have a token yet. We have a marketplace, and there is an opportunity there to add a token for loyalty and engagement. In the first stages, it's not going to be a cryptocurrency. There's going to be a loyalty token where we're going to really look into further engaging the users with that loyalty token. If it becomes opportune, then we could change that into a cryptocurrency so they can live outside of the Venly marketplace.
And one last question from the audience.
Can you elaborate a little bit on your tech team? So how big is it? Is it distributed? Do you have it on site? If yes, where? Who's your CTO? What's the experience of the CTO?
Yeah, so we've been in the blockchain space since 2014-15, actually. My CTO graduated magna cum laude as developer. He then the most of the team is here in Belgium, but we hire remotely at the moment. So all the development that we've done is proprietary. We also have an ethical hacking bounty open for the past 2.5 and 3 years. Our team is about 8 or 10 in technology, and the rest is currently on the business side.
Thanks very much, Tim. Thanks very much for the questions. We are now coming to the third of our finalists in the Series A stage, and that's Adriana from Adhash. Adriana, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And first of all, thank you to everyone voting. Really appreciate it. Now, should be sharing my screen. All right. So actually, sorry, I'm just skipping to the last slide. Okay, so let's dig deeper. Now, do you know that right now, data about you, your age, gender, purchase intent, perhaps even sexual orientation or political affiliation are transmitted millions of times per minute by thousands of advertising companies. Advertising technology over the past decade has vastly scaled and automated the media buying and selling processes, but has also introduced fiendish complexities and headaches. But just look at this. If Nike wanted to serve an advert on Forbes, this single process would easily involve over 20 different platforms, advertising platforms. Not only are your data passed around, but less than 30 cents of every advertising dollar would actually make it into Forbes' pocket. Advertising has been defined by loss, inefficiency, lack of transparency, but perhaps worst of all, complete disregard for people's privacy. So how do we tackle this? Right. There we go. Adhash is a privacy focused advertising technology company which does two main things. One, it uses blockchain to eliminate the hundreds of advertising middlemen, giving publishers and advertisers an unprecedented level of transparency and control over their advertising. And second, it enables brands to target ads in privacy focused ways that have never before been done. Right, so let's unpack this. Now, unlike other platforms which are cloud-based, Adhash allows publishers and advertisers to install the platform on premise. And that's key because with the ad serving process happening on the client side, not only do they have complete transparency and ownership over their advertising data, but Adhash as a company, now with the server cost distributed across clients, can scale infinitely while still charging a commission that is 25 times lower than the client's current ad tech cost. Now, you're probably wondering where does the blockchain element fit in? Without it, we couldn't really allow advertisers to serve ads directly from their servers. I mean, we could, but it would be unwise and unsafe. Without a gatekeeper in the middle, malicious actors could easily serve inappropriate or objectionable ads. So to prevent this from happening, we've created unique identifiers for each ad. Now, we call these ad hashes and we record them on the blockchain. Now, what we have is a public and immutable record of each ad and the advertiser standing behind it. The transparency and accountability serves as a protective mechanism which disincentivizes malicious behavior and removes the need for centralized gatekeepers in the middle. So with the middleman out of the picture, what we have is a significant cost reduction, 20 times faster ad serving, 24-hour reconciliation as opposed to 60 days, complete transparency and data ownership. Now, these are major benefits for publishers and advertisers, but we haven't forgotten about the third and most important part of the equation, and that's the internet user. For many years, we as internet users have been unknowingly or unwittingly trading our privacy for core services and free content online. Advertising companies have been tracking and using our data as raw material to sell and line their pockets. Unlike other platforms, advertising companies which try to glean as much information about you as possible, information often sensitive, Adhash instead focuses on the context, never on the individual. So we target ads by analyzing the content people consume, not the people consuming the content. Adhash is also the first company to combine content analysis with real-world data. So apart from analyzing the online content, the online context, we also look at the real world context. We look at the weather outside, changes in stock prices, cryptocurrencies, and other financial instruments. We look at sports events, film releases, breaking news. It's a rich diaspora of triggers all around us that can signal consumer intent without revealing information about the consumer. And that's key, because now premium publishers can effectively monetize their traffic without sacrificing consumer privacy, and brands can start to rebuild the long-lost trust with their customers. Right, so where do we stand right now? It's 19 of us. We have over 200 clients with more than 1,000 in the pipeline. We are expanding globally, running campaigns with large media groups like Hearst. We have raised over 1.2 million euros so far, oversubscribing our latest round. We've been actually approached by the European Parliament to support their efforts in limiting the rampant use of personal user data in advertising. It's an interesting project. We have already served millions of privacy-safe ads, and we believe that people should be treated as customers, not commodities. If you believe that too, get in touch. We'd love to talk. And I'll share the fame and glory with my co-founder, Martin, who will be joining us for the Q&A. Thank you, guys.
Thanks very much, Adriana. Thanks very much to the Adhash team. Over to the jury. Who would like to start?
Just one quick interruption. Sorry, Wolfgang. So we will do the voting for the startups right now from the jury side before we start the Q&A, because it was the last pitch from the 3 startups. So the jury, we have already sent you the Google form for the review process. Please fill it out right now. And then we, in the next coming minutes, while you do the Q&A after, we will take the time to evaluate and then announce the winners. So the jury's members, please. Christoph has already completed, I just saw, so please everyone else complete the form right now. Thanks.
And also welcome, Martin.
Hello, everyone.
So I know the jury is just filling out the questionnaire. Who would like to start with the first question?
Yeah, Wolfgang, probably I'll go for the question here. So Adriana, so is there an artificial intelligence layer on top of it, which helps you to curate? And is this an equity play or a token play?
Sorry, could you just repeat the question? There was a bit of a break in the connection.
Sorry, my question was, is there an artificial intelligence layer on top of it? And that lands up, segregating between fake and real, and sort of, discovering the appropriate content which needs to be curated, etc. The second part of that question is this a network play or a platform play?
Okay, right. So let's address the first question, AI question. You asked the question in the context of, how do we say, okay, this advert is okay to show, this one isn't okay to show. We do use an AI, an image recognition API, which kind of looks at all of the ads that before they're being uploaded as ad hashes onto the blockchain. If we detect anything objectionable potentially, it's then reviewed by some of our teams. But the idea here is really, because Adhash allows direct ad serving from the advertiser to the user, the process is a lot quicker. And we don't want to delay the process, but at the same time, we want to make sure that what we show is actually safe and okay. So the AI part of it, it serves as a protective mechanism. It's kind of a proactive security measure. But then if, for example, a user says, okay, I don't like this vote because this ad because there's a specific reason, it's objectionable, it's not okay, then we look further and we actually assess whether the ad is okay to show or not. Now, We also use AI in a different context, which is actually quite interesting, and it's to do with our contextual advertising, the way we analyze context in order to be sure that we serve a relevant ad. So we use machine learning, a combination of visual recognition, natural language processing to really understand the contents people are actively engaging with, not just keywords, but actual deeper understanding of what people are reading and whether it's actually relevant to the ad that we're showing. And because I don't know how much time we've got, I'll leave Martin to answer the second part of the question.
Sure.
We have 1 minute remaining. Maybe we just go on to the next question because we have 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, I had just one question. I mean, obviously, it's super innovative what you guys are doing, and I think it's definitely a need for all of this because there's been a lot of discussion around it. But don't you face a lot of resistance from the incumbent players? Because obviously, there's also a lot of money currently being made, and you guys are cutting that a bit, right?
Yeah, sure. But without all the resistance, we wouldn't know we are doing the right thing. When you have a global ad supply chain that's so inefficient, not just in terms of the monetary value, but also in terms of the quality of the data that's being transmitted between publishers and advertisers, you know that there is a problem to be solved there. And we spent quite a few years architecting the product in a way that we wouldn't be dependent on any third-party tech. Everything about Adhash is built in-house. We wrote the real-time bidding protocol to do the bidding for the advertising. The platform is the bidder in the middle, the user interface. So the entire thing is under our control, and I think a lot of our clients are really appreciative of that because they're used to being sold solutions that are already built on what they're already using. I think they truly like the independence aspect of our tech stack.
Thank you very much for everyone. Isn't the saying lots of enemies, lots of honor? At least in German, we have a saying like that. Thank you, Adriana. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, jury, for making the selection. And we now come to the result, which Ben will present.
Yes, also thanks from my side to everyone. It's a bit of a close call, especially again between the second and the third spot. So jury's voted, and for the Series A stage this year, the third prize goes to Feng Dao from iVE.ONE. Second prize goes to Tim from Venly, and the first prize goes to Adriana and Martin from Adhash. So yeah, thanks for your pitches, guys. Thanks for the jury votes. Same as for the other stages, we have an NFT award, and that we created actually together with Venly, so it will go over the Venly marketplace. So thanks to Tim and his team for helping us out here. And we were also together with BTC Echo. We prepared like a physical box on top of the NFT award that we will send to each of you as the founders. Like the physical box should arrive before Christmas, hopefully. And yeah, so that's pretty much it from my side for the award. From my side, thank you very much to all the startups that participated, all the jury members for their time, and of course to also my team for all the support, and looking forward to catch up with each and one of you soon. And last words for today go to Wolfgang.
I'd just like to say from Blockrocket and Blockchain Founders Group, we wish you happy holidays. We hope to see you guys all again in 2022. Until then, thank you very much for participating. Take care and goodbye.